Well, I am an admirer of Elisa's. Elisa has even worked for me, and the fact is that she is talented.
What's it called? Kermit and Friends?
Kermit and Friends.
Kermit. But if
Kermit,
you're saying
like
not
the
to
frog?
do,
Yeah,
wait.
I actually have watched a few hours of Kermit and Friends.
How many hours have you watched, Natalie?
Oh, no. Probably indulged in 8 hours.
Holy.
My wife and I watched Benji's ex-girlfriends or whatever's going on. We watched this crazy podcast, and I have to say, this is one of the probably in the top 5 things I think about right now.
She has a podcast, but she gets to come on the radio. It is craziness upon craziness.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to Kermit and Friends. I'm Elisa. This is Fozzie, and Kermit is watching from heaven. We have a very exciting show today. Such opposite guests we have. Our first guest is the world's sexiest doctor. Okay, ladies? So if you like that type of thing, you might want to tune in today. We have the world's sexiest doctor, Dr. Rajeev Fernando. Okay, so that's our first guest. I'm going to ask Charmin what she thinks about that. Let's see. Charmin, we have the world's sexiest doctor. He saved so many lives.
Good.
Yeah, good, right? That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing in a guy, to save lives. He's an infectious disease specialist in Southampton, New York, in the Hamptons.
Good. Nice. Let's bring one of those guys in for sure.
Yeah. He currently practices at Southampton Hospital. He's affiliated with Stony Brook Southampton Hospital. He accepts multiple insurance plans. I'm not sure where I got this bio.
But as long as he takes all of our insurance, that's all we care about.
Yeah. He's now being referred to as America's sexiest doctor. So that is so exciting.
Great.
Charmin, how are you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. I'm surviving. I'm in my new place finally.
Yeah.
I got my hammock set up under a tree. I have a fantastic tree and a she shed. I love my new house. I'm super happy.
Yeah. So you're doing well. You're in a good spirits.
Yeah, this is going to be a rough week for me. I have to travel back up north. My nephew's funeral is this week, so.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's going to be tough. All right. Well,
Looking
we're here
forward to
for
hearing
you.
some good information from an infectious disease specialist. We got a lot of stuff going on right now. He could teach us something.
Yeah. He sent me some questions. I have some fan questions for him as well. After this show today, there's a new wrap-up show host. Wait, what is that noise?
Is it me?
I don't know.
There's nothing going on where I'm at. It's super quiet where I'm at.
Wait, okay, so I heard something from you. I'm not sure what it is. It's like it sounds like maybe a fan or something. Okay, I'm going to take her off for a second. But after the show today, there's a new wrap-up show host. He goes by Arf, Bark, Bark. Okay, so this is James Chai. Thank God you stepped in, James. Thank God. I mean, if you didn't step in, I don't know what I would have done.
I don't know. I'm glad to be here. I mean, I'm just I'm excited. I mean, all I can say is I really appreciate all the trust.
Yeah, I trust you. You know what? Don't even be worried at all about anything. I just want you to have fun and enjoy it. So basically what the wrap-up show usually is they go over what happens on this show. They're going to go over the guests, the regular reoccurring characters, the musical guests. Everything that goes on Kermit and Friends is discussed on the wrap-up show. So I'm just so thrilled that you stepped up to the plate, because I've had people in the past. I've had Lori host the wrap-up show, T-Bob, and most recently Coach Erica Love, who stepped away. Okay, she just stepped away. She couldn't handle some of the things that were going on here, but you can. You're a strong guy. I admire you so much. What can we expect? What should people be looking forward to later?
You know what? I really have no idea. I'm going to play it by ear. I'm going to improv it all. I'm going to see who comes on board. I'm going to read a special passage written by Peter Laxka from the, he's written a novel of his. He's been trying to get people to read it and download it. So I'm going to give him a hand and just read out some of the passage from him. But I'm just going to wing it all. And that way I'm going to try to figure it out, what's happening, try to keep my calm when some people are trying to pull me into it. And we'll just go from there.
Okay, great. Oh my gosh, I can't tell you how happy I am that he has stepped up to that role. Okay, so everybody give a warm welcome to our first guest, the sexiest doctor in the world, Dr. Rajeev Fernando.
Thank you.
Welcome, Rajeev.
Thank you so much, Elisa. It's great to be back on Kermit and Friends. And I literally ran out of laundry, so I'm in my camouflage. I call it camouflage scrubs, actually. But thank you so much for your warm introduction. And I'm so happy to be on, and hopefully we can talk some very important things about COVID. Couple of things. I actually work with FEMA these days. I do contracts with FEMA all over the country. They kind of put me wherever they kind of put me wherever they need it across the country. So I'm working with FEMA, and also started my fellowship in disaster medicine. I'm at Harvard right now. So lots of good stuff have happened over the past couple of months. And yeah, we are moving forward. We really want to make sure more and more Americans get vaccinated. We're in such a difficult time with the country right now, especially California is doing pretty badly. So fire away with any questions. Thanks for having me again.
Oh, no, it was such a blessing when you wrote to me. I was so excited. So, you were on in February. You were confident that COVID would be handled by February of 2022. Do you still think that will happen? Or do you think we will be struggling for years to come?
You know, Lisa, I got to be honest with you. Sometimes I look back at some of my interviews that I did back in April 2020 when the virus came about. And, one of the things I said at that time was, COVID is going to slow down during the summer, which didn't happen. And I looked myself, I was like, what was I thinking when I said that? But now, Dr. Fauci also agrees with my original turnout. He said it'll be done by spring. But, I've started changing that around. It really comes down to the fact on how more and more variants come out, because we can be doing really well, and a variant that comes out, it can just ruin the party. So it's hard to really predict, but the best way to really end this global pandemic is by getting vaccinated. I'm not any sort of, I hate using the term anti-vaxxer, things like that. It's just not I don't use it in my vocabulary at all. I think it can certainly be disrespectful to a lot of people to label them one thing, but I think it's really time the country steps up. There are no foreign objects or metal or anything like that that's given. I think we should all step up and get vaccinated. It's the only way to end this global pandemic.
Yes, this article that just came out recently in The Atlantic, I saw this article and I thought of you. They said, stop death shaming. Mocking the unvaccinated dead does not save lives. What do you think of that?
Yeah, it's not the approach to go, because some of the news stations say, this person died because they're not vaccinated. Yeah, I understand what they're trying to do, but I still feel like we should respect, people who have passed away. And I really think that's not the approach. My approach is very friendly, take a step back, and I talk. I think that's, when I talk to a person and I'm not able to convince them that, a vaccine is what's going to save your life, I feel like a failure. Actually, it means that I haven't done my job as a specialist to try to convince people. But certainly that's not the approach which I take. I believe everyone should be respected. But that having been said, I think, more and more Americans are dying. Let's say, for example, our kids are going back to school. I don't have any kids, but our kids are going back to school this summer or in September, where they have children, they're going back. But just think of this situation where a child is exposed to an unvaccinated adult and the child gets infected. And, let's say the child has immune compromised situations. They're going to send these children to the hospital. So there are a lot of things to really look into. And I think it's really important to think about the whole situation. The kids going back to school, I don't think it's a good time right now. These guidelines are actually made for kids to go back to school sometime in May, when unfortunately the president declared victory over the virus, which is another thing I've learned. Never, the word victory over a viral pandemic is never should be used. It's just, I'm not political in any way, but that kind of phrases should not be used, that the pandemic, we've declared victory, and that's what got us into trouble. But those guidelines about kids returning to school were really made in May. And this was before the Delta variant. At the very same time in May, I was actually in India dealing with this Delta variant, which is actually, it's come from India. And my goodness, the death I saw over there. And I was really surprised when I was there. I said, oh my God, the president has made a mistake. Once again, not political or anything, but he's made a mistake saying that this is over. Because what we have to understand, Elisa, is everything is a flight away. The world is so small. Like when I get 3 days, I'm in Dubai for 3 days, just resting and chilling over there. It's just like a nonstop 13-hour flight from New York. I'm in Dubai, and it's just, the world has become such a small place right now. So, that was expected, a flight and someone coming from India, bringing it here, and it just started the whole cascade of events.
So wait, did you say when you have a day off, you're in Dubai?
3 days. I love my hotel. It's called the Shangri-La Hotel. I just get there. They spoil me to death over there. It's just very relaxing. I love Dubai. It's a great place. Yeah.
Wow, I can't believe you take your 3 days off. Because right now I'm back to work now. I haven't worked for a year. And I'm back to an office, right? And I can't even imagine taking my 3 days off and being on a flight. Like, that just seems so stressful. Like, I don't even have time to do my laundry anymore. My apartment looks like a tornado hit it. How do you have time to do that?
Well, to be honest with you, I fly with Emirates, and I've done that. I've been loyal to them for about 10 or 15 years. So I frequently get upgraded. And then a lot of times they know my favorite seat. As soon as I get there, I think it's 73G. They're like, "Oh, hi, Dr. Fernando, welcome back." You're saying the usual seat, and they give me that, and they usually give me a place to stretch out. So some of the few perks, but it's been.
Wait, 73G. That sounds like that's far back in the back of the plane.
Exactly, and actually, it turns out data shows that by being in the back of the plane, you're less likely to die when in a car, just in case the flight, goes down into the ocean. But you tend to have a lower chance of dying if you're in the back of the flight.
Wow, I did not know that. Okay, so all right, so I have some other questions. People are self-treating COVID with ivermectin. Does that work? What is that?
So this is another drug. Ivermectin is an anti-parasite, anti-worm drug, which Americans are self-medicating right now. So let's go back to this for a second. And we have what's called repurposed drugs. Now, repurposed drugs are desperate times. We'll say, well, let's try some drugs for COVID. We don't have anything right now. Let's remix it a little bit. Let's try some drugs and let's see if it works. So ivermectin is a drug which is really, like I said, it's meant for parasites and worms and things like that. It was tried against COVID with very bare minimal results. It wasn't anything slam dunk, but people in this country, unfortunately, once again, political, people over here, a lot of people don't want to get vaccinated and said, hey, we got this drug called ivermectin and it treats COVID. But once again, you enter a false sense of security when you get this drug, and then you think you're going to be safe, and people end up dying and going to the hospital really sick. So it's a false sense of security. And once again, to highlight to America, this is a real worm medication that treats worms and parasites. So definitely not a successful drug for COVID. Once again, they tried it. I always am all ears, like even, hydroxychloroquine, like I said, I've used it before, and we do the best we can, and if it doesn't work, it's up to physicians to come out in public and say, hey, it doesn't work. This is not the way to go. You can die by taking it, and unfortunately, ivermectin is one of those.
There was actually an article that I read this morning about people taking horse dewormer and people overdosing on horse dewormer. I mean, that doesn't seem right to take that. Why are people taking these dewormers? Is there anything there? Is there anything that this can help at all?
Yeah, that is what ivermectin is, horse dewormers. That is exactly what you read. It's this drug called ivermectin. Yeah, it's concerning. And I just think so many people, they don't want to do the right thing by getting vaccinated, and they just try everything else. And, like I said, false sense of security. You literally, get this medication. You think you're safe, and then you're in the ER the next minute, and sometimes you go to the ICU. So not a safe drug, America. Don't do it. And hopefully we just need to get vaccinated. It's the safest thing to do.
So the people that refuse to be vaccinated, they refuse to be, because I meet these people, I know them personally, I hear about them, I see them tweeting, okay? So what restrictions should be put against non-vaccinated people? Should they not be allowed to be out of the house at all?
Well, like I said, I'm respectful to everyone, but I'm here to tell you that, there are going to be harsh rules coming in and mandates. Now, another word that I hate beyond using the phrase anti-vaxxer is mandates. I really don't like that term, but unfortunately, that's what's going to happen right now. There are going to be more restaurants, and now that one of the vaccines is actually approved. Understand, prior to this, all these, we had Pfizer, for example, which was something called emergency authorization, which said, well, we think it's good. We need a little bit more studies, but we have very good studies so far. In order to completely approve it, we need a little bit longer, actually. So that was how it came out initially, and that's why no one could be forced. But now, because there's much more data which talks about its safety, now it's completely approved. And you're giving chances for, the government. I'm sure everyone in the military has to get it. In the government, workplaces are going to ask for it. Restaurants are going to ask for it. Casually, I remember I had like a 6 a.m. interview a few days ago. And, I literally just, I woke up 5:30. I said, 5. And I was like, let me just go down and get my cup of coffee, my espresso to start my day. I went down in a hurry, got there, and I didn't have my vaccination card. And the guy's like, sorry, I can't let you into the store. You have to have a card. I'm like, I just thought, can I just come in for it? No, can't do it. And I had to go all the way up, get my...
Wow, they don't know who you are at all?
No. You know what? I try to keep a low profile, camouflage. You know what's up, right? Just kind of blend in all the time. No, the higher you get, the more humbler you should become. And I've learned that over the last year and a half. I would, a lot of people come to me and say, oh, you're all over the media. It's great. People talk about you all the time. But it just, for me, the most important thing, Alyssa, is to, give people quality information, right information. And I look at it from the heart, which is like, the innumerable people who say, oh, damn those anti-vaxxers. But I always try to look at two sides of the story, so people understand. And I'm just doing the best I can. There's a lot more work to be done, but until America clears this. But I'm here for the long ride. It sucks to work on a Labor Day weekend, but it's just the right thing to do to keep people safe.
So if you think about it, COVID and this whole situation has really upped you as far as your fame, and now you're the world's sexiest doctor. I mean, so there are some positive parts of this. Is there any feeling like, oh, thank God COVID's here, now I'm sexiest doctor?
No, not at all. I've always, a couple of visions that I've had, Elisa, prior to this were to develop my own fashion company. And that's going to be out in a couple of months. It's called By Rajeev Fernando. Once again, everything what we make, a lot of it will really go into charity. And then I'm also a documentary filmmaker. So I have a couple of documentaries. One is it's a film called Smugglers and Refugees. And it was sort of the European refugee crisis a few years ago, where initially I'd gone down to do a lot of medical work in these camps to help people. Oh my God, it was terrible. They're just lying in the streets, just no foods. I think at one time we just went to the store, bought 3,000 cans of Coca-Cola to give it her. And everyone's like shocked. They're like, "Oh, I didn't expect this." I was like, "Yeah, you know what? If you see kids, buy them some donuts, or just you got to keep it real." So they were like, "Whoa, who's buying his Coca-Cola over here?" And so I was, treating these people, and then I asked them, I was like, "So what's your opinion about smugglers?" And they said to me, "Well, smugglers are gods." And I said, "Wait a minute. I mean, when I say smuggler, it means, scumbag." But
Yeah.
they told me, like, in a situation where they're coming from Syria and Afghanistan, and they were being slaughtered and attacked by various Talibans or governments. They're trying to kill them there, and they're trying to get into Europe. European police are keeping them out as well. So the smuggler really gives them a new shot at life. They bring them into Europe and give them a new shot at life. And I found that very interesting. So the rest of the film, we found ways to interview smugglers and discuss things. So it was kind of dangerous because the thing is with smugglers, you can talk to them. And then suddenly on game day, when you meet them, they can say, "You know what? I changed my mind. We want $1 million to your head. And what are you going to do at this point?" So it really required a lot of trust from us. And fortunately, I think everything went well. We shot in about 28 locations all over, and it was just a two-man crew, me and my cameraman. And this guy, he has 2 kids, and every time I'm like, "Yo, get down!" Like we had to be on the ground in the van a lot of times, and he's like, "I didn't sign up for this." I was like, "Listen, bitch, you're here with me right now. Do you want in or out? If you want to go, go." He's like, "This is like a James Bond movie. I signed up like to cover camps, medical camps." I said, "Sure, choice. Want to get out now? Get out." He's like, "No, but it's really interesting. I'll risk my life a little bit." So yeah, it was good. I'm really excited to get it out. There's some interest from Sundance actually, so that's going to be in January. So some interest has come by. It's just hard for me, Elisa, because I work 7 days a week, and it's hard because like I try to like juggle everything in between fashion, documentaries, and along with working 7 days a week. So it's hard at times, but we got to figure it out. There's so much to do in the world actually.
When I was researching you, I found this picture. I was curious if you can tell me the backstory on this picture. What is going on here?
Sure. So this is, I believe, in deeply in social causes, and so one of my designs, one of the goals and motivations to my designs are to address social causes. So this is, I wish I could zoom in, unfortunately, but this is our equality campaign, and our equality. These are shirts that I've designed, which have all the colors in the world. It includes Indigenous and the LGBTQ concept as well. So what we've done over here is this is our shoot for LGBTQ month. We distributed these T-shirts all over the country to more than 18 organizations, LGBTQ organizations across the country for free. And yeah, they gave it out. A lot of people liked it, and for me, it's I enjoy designing. It's not so much for the money, honestly. I'm a very really into social causes. A few months before, we did something for the Stop Asian Hate campaign, and yeah, same thing. We distribute all over the country, and I'm really happy. Our T-shirt is actually distributed in the Chinese American Art Museum in New York, and they have it on display over there for the work that I did to kind of help out the Stop Asian Hate community. So I'm very, very happy with a lot of social causes. And now we have our pro-vaxxer masks, which we're doing a fashion shoot in a couple of days. And
Great.
I'm pretty excited. Yeah, it's a good time. I always like using, my skills to actually help vaccinate. There might be a radio show, I used to be a talk show host on the radio in India for like Top 20 and stuff like that for national radio. So now there is some talks to try to get me back onto a weekly countdown every Sundays. So I get to count down like the top 10 in the country. So I'm super excited. A lot of good things. I wish there were 27 hours in a day, but I got to figure it out in 24.
I really don't know how you do everything. Rajeev, do you have any headphones? Because I want to bring on these other people to talk to you. Just sit tight, put on your headphones. So now we're going to have fans and reoccurring guests of Kermit and Friends talk to Dr. Rajeev Fernando, who is so inspiring. I do not know how he does all this. I just really do not know, because recently, like I told everybody, I'm back in the gold business. I don't know if you know this about me, but not only am I a host of Kermit and Friends, which is very time consuming. I mean, our Discord server is around the clock, 24/7. People are typing things. People are telegramming me. People are texting me. They're saying this and that. I met up with Kermitarian of the Week this week, Kleenex, and it was unbelievable. I met this guy Kleenex, and he really impressed me. He's Kermitarian of the Week. Kleenex, do you know why you're Kermitarian of the Week?
Because you're still alive.
That's a good point. Yes, I'm still alive. I was a little nervous meeting you. Obviously
I'm
we've had a while.
you brought 4 other people, but I'm glad you did. So,
Yeah, I brought 4 other people. I mean, you weren't the only one that I was nervous about meeting that night. I was also nervous about Stuttering John. I mean, the whole thing was just meant to be. Stuttering John asked me out to dinner. He says, sorry. First, I asked Stuttering John to come on Kermit and Friends. And Stuttering John said he would not come on Kermit and Friends unless I went to dinner with him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So he said, there's no... Yeah. So I said, Stuttering John, can you please just come on Kermit and Friends? I'd really love to have you on the show. And he goes, if we go to dinner. So I said, sure. All right, whatever. I'll go to dinner with you. So my friend Johnny...
He saw me there. He goes, she's done this before. She's put me in this before. She said it's going to be us and a bunch of guys. How many are showing up tonight? That was the first thing out of his mouth. I'm serious. I'm not making it. Something to that effect. I may miss it a little bit, but I'm pretty close.
Yeah, he got mad when he saw you, my colleague Josh.
I think John wakes up mad every day. Am I?
Yeah, he was mad at a lot of things. First, he was mad at me. It was a very, very, very bad first impression because he was mad immediately, and that's so uncomfortable when you're introducing people and he's not happy, to meet them. Like, he should have been happy that we were there. Okay. He should have been happy that we were there.
More the merrier doesn't work with John, I think.
No, it doesn't. And it's weird. Like, most guys after this many, I mean, it's been like 7 years with him pretty much doing this, pulling the same little thing. But I didn't mind meeting him for dinner, but it actually just worked out because my colleague was willing to go. You wanted to meet up. I really
enjoyed, by the way, I don't want to say his name, but I would love to see him again. He's a great guy. I don't want to call him a kid. He's from Boston.
Yeah.
Just really intriguing. I really enjoyed him. He added to it. The other guy kept coming and going. I don't really know who he was, but
that's my friend Johnny. That's my my coworker.
The coworker's name or not? No.
Yeah, Josh. His name's Josh.
It was wonderful. A lot of fun and very intriguing. Great, good energy.
Yep.
Positive. You could see the spirit in his eyes. John, on the other hand, was pretty much what I expected.
So John was the opposite.
Well, I've listened to John from the old days, and I'm listening to him when he's doing his new thing. And John just seems like he's a very angry guy. And I mentioned to him the Shuley thing, or I think I did, and he got upset about that. I thought the way he ambushed Shuley, a guy you never worked with, and trying to freeze him up. And of course, Shuley just kept circling around in the lobby of the hotel when they were here. But I was a fan when he was part of the Jackie and the whole thing. But when he went on his own, he just seems bitter. But then he kind of he's bitter, and then he kind of goes back and he says, "Oh, I owe everything to him." But then the bitterness comes out, and then he's, "Oh, but I got what I had because of it," and then it's bitter. So it's kind of like, I don't know. If you've listened, If not, you probably really, Kleenex, I don't care.
Yeah, I mean, it's an interesting scenario. I've been through that scenario multiple times in my life. Oh, here, I can see Rajeev again. Okay, so I've been in that scenario multiple times. So I actually understand and relate to John. I've been in jobs that I lost or
I guess a career like that can make you have a lot of mixed feelings and mixed emotions.
Yes, absolutely.
A lot of different things happen in that length of time. So
I can relate to him, but I don't feel that he's going about it the right way. But you're going to talk to him later. We're both going to talk to him. Let's bring Rajeev back on, and he's going to take questions from the audience. Let's start with Eric. Eric, question for Dr. Rajeev Fernando.
Oh, hey Rajeev, can you hear me over there?
Hey Eric, loud and clear. Thanks for being on the show.
Hey, great to be with you here. So I was wondering, I've got these dreams of being real successful one day, like you are, as the sexiest doctor in the world, but sometimes there's there's ups and downs, in finance, booms and busts. And I was talking with Elaine the other day about it. The career of someone like Michael Jackson gets on stage the most amazing stage performer in the world, gets off stage, total train wreck, you know. And so how do you deal with those ups and downs? You know, when you see like go to India and you see a real, you know, real sad thing, and you get back up,
Yeah.
keep going. How do you keep going like that? It's really awesome.
Thanks for your encouragement, Eric. It means a lot to me. So I think for me, the field itself, I chose infectious disease because infectious diseases are the number one cause of death in the poor countries. And it's really hard to see people die because they don't have antibiotics or proper treatment. So it's a field of treating poor people around the world, and that's how I got into it. I started off my med school in India, and I started off with so much of sadness. I mean, I would see people with leprosy, without toes, without hands, and I was exposed to this at a very young age in life. And this was like when I was studying in New York. My parents told me I was growing up to be an asshole, so they moved me to India to complete my education. But no, yeah. So it's hard. Education in India is hard. So finally I got around it. Everything worked out. But I grew up under very difficult circumstances. So there was a lot of failures, a lot of heartbreak. I would just cry a lot of times during med school. But since coming here, you do the best you can. I always tell myself, just do the best you can to help people and save lives. And determination. A lot of times people think, like, let's say my students and residents, they would come to me and say, my God, Dr. Fernando is so cool. He knows his stuff. But I don't tell people that I wake up at 4 and study at 4 o'clock in the morning in order to, best treat my patients. So it's hard. There are times definitely during this pandemic that I wake up and just cry, thinking about, I'm going to the hospital. I'm wondering, did my patients survive overnight? Are they still alive? Is their oxygen requirement less, which means they're getting better, or is their oxygen requirement going higher? I can't even wait to get to the hospital. So I call the overnight people from home and say, hey, they're like, why are you calling so early? I'm like, I want to know. I just really need to know, is my patient surviving? Where are we at? So very, very tough times. I try to be as strong as possible, but we'll do the best we can. But overall, I'm very committed to this pandemic, and I just I have to stay strong. But thank you. There are definitely weaknesses, but thank you, Eric, for all your encouragements. Very kind words. I appreciate it.
So the thing with Eric is he's very focused on wealth. Okay, so a lot of his goals, I think, surround that, right, Eric?
Oh, yeah. How was wealth created? I feel like that point really ties into what you're saying too, which is how in the midst of extreme poverty, how do you keep that growth mindset, that wealth mindset too?
But I don't think he has that. See, that's the thing. Dr. Rajeev, is it more the cause, or it's more about, you're not really thinking about wealth when you're doing these things?
Oh, absolutely not.
Yeah.
I have to be honest with you. I've worked all year long, and just to be perfectly honest with you, when you work like every day in the month, they pay you extra. I'm going to be upfront with you on that. But it's taken a lot. Like, I have lived in hotels since last November. Like,
wow,
new city, new place. I've literally lived in hotels. I don't have a home address anymore. It takes a lot out of you. And yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Of course, we get paid when we work, 30 days a month, as opposed to 25. We do get paid more, but it's just I haven't had a home since last November. Just hotel to hotel to hotel all over the country.
Is that where you are right now? Are you at a hotel right now?
Yeah, actually, I'm in a hotel right now. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. So yeah, but it's okay. It's something that I'll always look back, when I'm older, and say, I did everything I could. Although I can never say that. I can never say I've done everything I can. There's always more to do. There's more people to save. There's more people to talk to. But it weighs on you a little bit. For example, I'm happy to answer this other question from Fireman. I'm happy to take that in a second. But I used to live in the Hamptons, and everyone's out there. It's the best place to be over the Labor Day weekend. Everyone's calling, oh, you got to come on out. And You can't. It's just a sacrifice, but things will get better eventually. I think the world will come out of it. At least I'm happy to answer this question. So the CDC says, Eric, is it okay if I take this question?
Yeah, go ahead.
Cool. So the CDC says vaccines don't work, still spread COVID, still die. The efficacy is unknown. Eric, I'm sorry, Fireman, thank you for your question. So the efficacy is actually proven. Like if you were to look at people who are in hospitals right now, more than 99% of people in hospitals right now across the country are unvaccinated. Once again, not using any disrespectful terminology or anything like that. But people who are unvaccinated account for more than 99% of infections. The efficacy has been proven very well. Billions and billions of vaccines across the world have been given. So we have two different problems. In America, people don't want to get the vaccine for whatever reason. But across the planet, there's just a lack of vaccines. It's just like there are no vaccines available. I fund a project in India to help out with vaccines. And it's an interesting project. We incentivize vaccines. So you won't believe. So one of the programs that I do is we have people come to get the vaccine. They're so poor that, we give them lunch as an incentive. And they're like, oh my God, I can get free lunch. And they get the vaccine. Oh my God, Elisa, such poor people around the world.
So the poor people, are those the people that don't want the vaccine? What do you usually see? What type of person is it that sees the numbers of 99% of people that get COVID are unvaccinated? That's what you just said, right?
That's correct.
Okay, so you would see that number, 99% of people that get the virus are not vaccinated. You'd see that number and you'd still say, I'm not getting it and I don't believe in it, even though you see, what kind of is that an educated person? Is that a successful person? What kind of person is that?
No, it's a great question. And I think they come in all different colors, all different races. And once they're in the hospital, I'm not going to bring this up. They're fighting for their life over here. And it's not a joke. I mean, they're dying. So that's not the time to say, I told you so and things like that. A lot of times for me, patients just come to me and say, I wish I did. Because COVID is disproportionate the way it kills. It can affect anybody. That's the thing. And right now, the youth 18 to 49 account for the highest cases. And of course, our kids are getting infected, So we didn't have all of this before. This new strain, this new Delta strain that's out there is easily the most infectious strain there is. And very, very dangerous. And we're not done with this. California, certainly the cases are going up. There's no way of controlling it. New York, we're a little bit better over here, but California is surging. But back to Fireman John, they do work. Billions and billions of people around the world have taken it. You know what? I'm going to be upfront with you. There are some mysterious deaths that have happened, and I can't account for that. I'm going to be upfront with you. But also, what are the chances of you dying? I think the chances of you dying from crossing the road or just crossing the street are higher than a vaccine death, to be perfectly honest with you. Like, even if you were to look at Tylenol, we don't even take a look. Like, I would beg to say, what do you think is more dangerous, Tylenol or a vaccine? And the answer is probably Tylenol. Okay. Really, Tylenol toxicity. If you have a lot of Tylenols, you can go to the hospital and die. Actually, it causes bad liver failure. So Tylenol, an over-the-counter drug, causes so many side effects, and people can die from it if you take too much of it. I think with the vaccine, it's scrutinized so much that every little side effect is like, whoa, it causes headache.
It's a lot of mind games, I think, with that. Aaron, you're muted. Can you unmute yourself? Because I know you have a question for the doctor. Actually, Aaron Ozzie, he actually requested to be on with you, I think. Aaron, what is your question for the doctor?
No, I didn't really have a particular question in mind, though, but it's been really interesting to hear what you said, Dr. Fernando, just about the contributions that you've been making in terms of trying to guide this pandemic in the right direction and help those in need, because it is very sad to see what is happening, not just here in the United States, but in countries around the world. And, some part of me, and I think other people would agree as well, they're at the same time, they'd like to forget about what's going on and press forward and, focus on, what life was like before this really started. But at the same time, we have to deal with, the problem that's hand. And right now, the problem at hand is that people are not getting vaccinated. And, the more that we continue to fight over the same subject and, cause this division, nothing is going to get resolved, because you look at the United States, half are vaccinated, half are not. I mean, that's kind of what it feels like at this point. One side has an opinion and the other side has another opinion. And the real question is, how do you bridge that gap? How do you find a compromise that's going to work for everyone, where everyone can realize what needs to be done to push past this, but at the same time, have hope that once everyone does get on the same page, that things will return to normal. So, but, obviously, Elisa, I wanted to kind of delve a little bit more into, different things that, my work has kind of done, to help families in need during the time of COVID and other things related to that nature. And I wanted to give some other guests an opportunity first to kind of talk more about the vaccine particularly, because I know there was a couple other guests that had some very specific points that they wanted to bring up. So.
Yeah, no, we appreciate that.
Aaron, thanks for your nice words. It means a lot. And, people like you encourage me to even work harder. And I really appreciate your kind words. And yeah, we have to, I'm going to keep working harder. I'm fairly confident, not even fairly, I am confident I'll, with all, my chances like Alyssa has given me to be on the show and keep talking. And, I'm very confident I can get people to get vaccinated. It's the thing is, it's about, we can't be selfish. Think about a situation where an unvaccinated person can give like an innocent child COVID and the child goes to the hospital for no reason,
Should that be murder? Should that be looked at as murder, Dr. Fernando? Yes.
It should certainly be considered that. Honestly, it's hard not to think that giving an innocent child or even baby like COVID.
It's so infuriating, things like that. It's so infuriating to me.
It just makes me very sad to do that. So I think it's really important, and I am going to stick my course. I'm going to keep working on it, and I'm sure I'm going to keep converting. Elisa mentioned my pro-vaxxer mask. We're going to give it out free all over the country, because I think people who get vaccinated should be proud of it and hopefully inspire someone who sees. So we're going to start giving these masks to and t-shirts to people who are coming out. We're talking to people who have just got vaccinated, and we ask them, hey, what made you change? And a lot of them tell me, they're like, I was a so-called anti-vaxxer. I see our countrymen dying, and babies are getting, Jeff, you're right. Babies are starting to get. So this is another problem, and now we're having our kids or babies. It hits home really hard, Lisa.
It does. It's infuriating to know that, that's where it really is upsetting when you have kids at risk, just because parents, like, I don't know what there's just some people that are so obnoxious. Would you describe them as obnoxious?
I can't. I just try to stay away from that kind of language. But I want everyone to not be selfish. And like I said, it's only in America. Like I said, around.
Oh, we just lost Rajeev. Shoot. Oh, he's back. Oh, his audio's gone. Your audio's gone for some reason. So just refresh, Dr. Fernando. And I want to get you on with Bob, because I know he has some thoughts. Right, Bob?
Oh, yeah, I got some thoughts. First of all, is they're talking about mandating these vaccines, but then you run into a guy like me that can't catch any virus. I can't catch COVID-19, so why should I be mandated to get the vaccine?
Oh, are you? Wait a second. Okay, so how come you can't get it?
I am Norwegian by descendancy. So my family is from that part of the country. My family's tree goes back to the Black Plague era. The unborn babies of the women at that time that this virus was going through, killing so many people in that country, developed a defense system against viruses. So the way the doctor explained it to me is, I can contract it, but within 72 hours, I'm just going to pee it out or piss it out, because it cannot get into my deep blood vessels to circulate my body, therefore rebreathe and so forth. I got the plus A or A plus gene. I don't have the other gene, so it causes me to not regulate my vitamin K, which causes me a lot of blood clots. But up to 40% in some countries have one or both of these genes. It's a dominant gene, and someday everybody in the world will have at least one, if not both of these genes.
Bob, thanks for your question. I missed half of it, but you said you have Norwegian roots. But that area is getting pummeled, actually. That part of the world, France, up in Europe, they're getting pummeled right now. So I'm not, please teach me about it. I'd love for you to send me an email after the show and tell me about these genes. But, Europe is getting pummeled right now, even though they've got, high vaccination rates. This is a deadly, deadly virus. And it's not...
You still have to look that 36 to 40% of the people in all of these developed nations have not caught COVID-19. They're not going to catch COVID-19. It's not possible for them to catch COVID-19.
But we have
140 take a vaccine that can alter your genes.
It's not going to alter your genes. It's not a DNA vaccine. It's an RNA vaccine. Trust me, if this was a DNA vaccine, I'd be really considering and talking and being more open. And I'm the first one to tell people, if I'm not happy about someone, let's say, do you need an absolute third dose, a booster? I'm like, let's get your first dose before we go down the path of getting your third dose. Let's get the dose 1 first. So that's really important to know. And they are absolutely safe. They don't touch your DNA. Nothing touches your DNA. This has nothing to do with DNA. It's a technology called RNA technology. And RNA technology was really developed in 1961. It was not used for anything because the world was waiting to actually find a place where we should use this RNA technology. Never used. How amazing is it? It's going to be used to find a vaccine for HIV, for cancer therapy. They're great uses. So
no, that's not the cure for HIV or any of those other problems that you're talking about. It will never be a cure for that. The only cure that I'm aware that they are working on is a pill that they're working on to give people to make their bodies mimic what my body does and close up your pores so that the virus cannot fit through there and enter your deep blood vessels from your outer blood veins.
I'm so excited to hear that. If this drug comes out,
last for 72 hours, and they need to make the pill last for 72 hours. They can only make it last for about half of that time right now, but they are working on it. My other question is this, because there is an ingredient in the vaccine that can alter your DNA. There are people dying from taking this vaccine. The vaccine itself is killing people. Now, granted, it's a very small percentage. I think that the world is better off with the vaccine than without it. But I have concerns myself because they say there's another ingredient that causes something to take place that makes people's bodies not be altered by this DNA altering ingredient, whatever the heck it is in there. Because I read up on this about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago. Because I'm fixing to have a guy on my show that's had COVID-19 2 times.
Okay, so the fact that you say whatever the hell is in there, it tells me that you're not understanding the vaccine so well. No disrespect whatsoever. And the medication you're telling me which is blocking the entry, absolutely. Please tell me when this comes out, because there are works going on to actually treat COVID-19, and we're feverishly waiting. We want the treatment. It's not like I don't make any money by asking. I just want less death. I want to go to work
put your email in private chat, and I will send you all of that information.
Sure. Elisa has my email. We'll be able to give it out to you. I'm happy to. But I want you to understand that this is not a DNA vaccine. DNA changes everything. DNA changes everything. But this is RNA. It's not going to get in your genes. So please take some time.
What do you think is the number one anti-allergy product being sold in the world today right now?
That's a good question. Around the world? Yeah, over the world, it's probably something over the counter or some herb or something like that. In the United States, of course, you would think of Benadryl or Allegra. That's something over the counter. But if you're talking about allergies over the world, some sort of herb probably would be the way to go, if I'm not mistaken.
That's correct. It's called bee pollen. I took 3.5 years. I used to have the worst allergies. Like if I came in your house and you had a cat, I'd be messed up.
All right, hold on one second. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hi, Lisa. It's Barry.
Hey, Barry.
Hey, so two things. One, did Dr. Rajeev, his name is?
Yes,
Fernando, Dr. Rajeev Fernando?
Yes.
Did he know that Israel, about 12, 13 years ago, he mentioned vaccines for HIV. Did he know that Israel already found a cure for stage 1 HIV 12 years ago? It made the Jerusalem Times. In Israel, I found that on Google search, actually. They found for stage 1 HIV, they found a cure. It was a study that they did that was a test study, like a trial, clinical trial, and they cured 8 of 10 people that had stage 1 HIV about 12 years ago or so. It made the news. Is he aware of that?
Yeah, I'm happy to answer
I can ask
that.
him. Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, it's a good question. Thank you. I'm happy to answer that question. So I completely agree with you. You are looking at the right places for data. Israel, by far, is one of the most scientific countries in the world. And as a matter of fact, even before I look at American data, I look straight to Israel. Israel has fantastic data on COVID-19. This vaccine that you're mentioning about, it probably didn't have the right efficacy, or it didn't protect over a period of time. Trust me, if this vaccine worked completely, this is 13 years ago, people would have been vaccinated for HIV. We have 40 million people with 40 million people in the world with HIV right now. Once again, the situation, we have great drugs to prevent progress of HIV, but there's no magic vaccine right now to actually cure it or prevent it. So that's why you don't hear about it. It's not part of any guidelines in America or Europe to say, hey, when you're 15 years old, get an HIV vaccine. It's not, it's called ACIP, American College of Immunization Practice, ACIP, and it's not in any guideline right now. So think about this for a second. If there was a way to prevent or treat HIV with a vaccine, it will be out there. The thing is also to understand that healthcare coverages, insurances, and the government, they spend millions and millions of dollars. If a single person has HIV, the government spends thousands and thousands of dollars. It takes care of them for pretty much forever. All the appointments, all the treatments. Every year, HIV medication costs thousands of dollars. So if there was an active vaccine which has been proven to work, they would definitely be out. I am with you 100%. You're looking at the right area. Israel has the best data, the best science there is. I appreciate you looking into that, but that trial never panned out over a longevity situation, and that's why it's not standard of care. Trust me, if it was, that would be the biggest miracle ever. It's the holy grail of medicine to find a cure for HIV.
Okay, I know you have patience. Do you have to go now? Because my wrap-up show co-host told me you had to go.
I unfortunately do. It's been wonderful being on the show, and I'll definitely drop by another time. It's just wonderful to be on your show. I love the challenging questions, and I hope I've convinced a few of you out there to get the vaccine. Like I said, there are definitely side effects. I'm not going to dispute that. And if you get like side effects after getting the vaccine, like headache or just not feeling well, tired, fevers, chills, it's actually a good thing. It turns out what that means is, it means that when you get the vaccine, your immune system is recognizing the vaccine and mounts a good immune response. So that's actually a good sign. Yeah, it's going to suck to be in bed for a couple of days. I'm not disputing that, but that's actually a good sign. So yeah, heed the signs. Like, billions around the world have gotten it. Anything in life has side effects. I still maintain the chance of you crossing the road and dying is higher than dying from a vaccine. I'll still maintain that. But with that, I'll stop. And I hope you've enjoyed the show and the questions. Thanks again, Elisa, for having me.
Oh, my pleasure. You're amazing. You're my favorite doctor, and I just appreciate you so much. If people want to reach out to you, how do they do that? How do they reach you?
Really, the best way is my website. It's my charity website. It's called chiraj.org. CHI. It's named after my mother and father. My mother's name is Chitra. My dad's name is Raj. So it's CHIRAJ.org. Shoot me a question. I'm happy to answer anytime.
Perfect. Thank you so much. I love him. Everybody enjoy a song from Wappy.
How many special people change? How many lives living strange? Where were you while we were getting high? Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide, in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide, in a champagne supernova in the sky. Yeah. Wake up at dawn and ask me why. A dreamer dreams, she never ties. Wipe that tear away now from your eye. Slowly walking down the hall, faster than a cannonball. Where were you while we were getting high? Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide, in a champagne supernova in the sky. Someday you will find me caught beneath the landslide, in a champagne supernova, cause people believe that we're gonna get away from the summer. But you and I will live and die. The world's still spinning around, don't know why. Why?
My name is James Chai, and I help heal dogs that have severe dysfunctions. And I generally deal with the ones that have deep visceral dysfunctions, and the ones that are large and giant breeds are my preference because they're the first ones to be euthanized, and they're the first ones that people turn down and say that we can't do anything with them. Say, for example, they get into a physical interaction with a human and they bite them. They're deemed dangerous, and the only choice that a lot of these shelters have is to euthanize. This is a Great Dane mix that is male aggressive. She'd been beaten by a guy between the ages of 5 and 8 months, and that's where most dogs have their second fear period. So she was a biter, she was fearful, she didn't like men, and she had no recall. So I took her, and in about a week and a half I had her off leash and cuddling with me. Like, I can see the depth in their soul, and I really believe that because they're sentient beings. I can just see deeper into what's going on, and I just connect. There's just so much hurt and dysfunction in the ones that I see, because that's usually the ones, and every dog, every animal wants a connection. These are living, feeling, breathing souls, and everything they do is deliberate. They would defend us to the death. So why should we treat them as if they're garbage?
Okay, so I'm having a little problem right now, you guys. My problem is I was forced to go out to dinner with this person, and now he's saying that he'd rather play fantasy football.
Let him play.
Yeah, what a jerk, right? What do you think?
Yeah, bye. Next.
Oh,
Yeah.
all right. I don't know. That's your call, Elisa.
Well, I don't really have control over it, but I really hate being pushed around like that. And I'm just not happy about it right now. But yeah, you're right.
Is it one of the guys that was on here earlier? Or is it somebody else? Who's this other person?
It's this other guy. It was the second guest for today. It was John.
Oh.
He said if I went to dinner with him, then he would come on Kermit and Friends. Now he's saying he's sending me his stupid fantasy football. What the hell is fantasy football anyway? I don't even really know what that is.
Yeah. I mean, isn't there enough football? Do we have to have fantasy football too?
Yeah.
Well, explain it to us, Hud. What's up with fantasy football? Why do these guys like it so much?
I don't watch football. My dad used to think I was gay, But stuttering John's my dad's favorite. I was gonna ask him to tell my dad he has a big penis.
Oh my God, he's
What he
his
wants
favorite.
to hear, right? And it's not going to happen because the other guys went to dinner.
I'm okay. So that doctor, he's the second sexiest doctor in the world. I'm the first. I have a PhD, a pretty huge dick.
Yeah, I learned about PhDs when I lived in Lexington, Kentucky. It was something different. I'm going to use that acronym now, though. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
My girlfriend acts like Kermit and Friends is not allowed to be played in this household, and that's that. You are not going to watch Kermit and Friends, and you are going to like it.
What was that, Hud?
That was my girlfriend isn't. This is a non Kermit and Friends household. I'm not allowed to watch it.
Is it banned in your household? Did you get in trouble for misbehaving on Kermit and Friends?
No, whenever I watch it, which is like a lot, I try to, and my girlfriend turns it off.
Well, she doesn't like it? What doesn't she like about it?
She doesn't like the way I behave on here.
Oh, so you misbehaved and you got in trouble. You're being punished now.
Yeah.
But he behaves like that all the time. You're the same all the time, Hud.
Yeah. The doctor, I was going to ask him if he wants to get coffee in Dubai with me sometime. He kept,
Well, I'll give you his contact. You can reach out to him, Hud, and I'm sure he'd love to hear from you.
He kept pronouncing pummeling. And I'm mad that he got off here. I'm trying to ask him what this bump on my penis is, if it's herpes or just a rash or something.
If there is a bump on your penis, it is probably herpes, and you should just practice safe sex so your girlfriend doesn't get mad at you for that too.
No.
Okay, because that's gonna make her mad. It's a little bump for you. It's a whole nightmare for her.
I think it's rug burn. I was dragging myself across the carpet.
With your penis,
like a little bump,
like a dog. Yeah.
Your poor girlfriend. That sounds like a very entertaining show to watch. Are you videoing that and sending that to Elisa for us?
Oh no, there's no video. That's what I do.
Video
They call it. They think you call it. It's like that thing what the dogs do with their legs stretched out, and it's called splooting.
Splooting. You're splooting across the floor. Yeah, I think Elisa needs video of that.
we all need video of that,
Yeah,
Hud. You
yeah,
got to
for
share
sure.
that with us. And does your girlfriend know that you're on Kermit and Friends right now?
Yeah, she's right here.
Okay, good. We don't want to participate in anything that's going to get you in trouble with your lady.
No.
Yeah. If it's cool, maybe I could perform a Tupac or Eminem cover because they're my favorite rappers.
Sure. You could do it now if you want.
Oh hell yeah. Okay, let me get some pants on. I need to get some pants on. Oh yeah, where's my pants? Okay, where's my pants? Here we go. You're gonna like this, because Eminem and Tupac were my favorite rappers growing up. My parents used to buy me the clean versions of the CDs for Hanukkah, Christmas, and my birthday. I had like every Eminem song and Tupac song memorized by the time I was 8 years old. Okay, here we go. Let the lay down real sticky. Here we go. You're gonna like this. Okay, ready? Are you ready? I'm gonna do my favorite Eminem song. One of my favorites. It's Eminem Role Model. Here we go. Okay, here we go. Ready? Okay. I'm going to attempt to drown myself. You can try this at home. You can be just like me. Let me get some underwear. I'm just gonna do this. We recorded. I'm cancerous, so on a diss, you wouldn't want to answer this. You responded back with a battle rap you up for cannabis. I strangle you to death and I choke you again. I break your fucking legs so your bones poke through your skin. You beef with me, I'ma even the score equally. Take you on Jerry Springer and beat your ass legally. I get you blunted off a funny homegrown, cause when I smoke out, I hit the trees harder than Sonny Bono. So if I said I never did drugs, that would mean a lie. I get fucked more than the president does. Hillary Clinton tried to slap me and call me a pervert. I ripped the fucking tonsils out of fed a sherbert. My nerves hurt, and lately I'm on edge. Grab vanilla ice and ripped out out his blonde dreads. Every girl ever went out with has gone les. Follow me and do exactly what the song says. Smoke weed, take pills, drop out of school, kill people and drink, jump behind the wheel like what's still legal. I'm dumb enough to walk in the store and steal, so I'm dumb enough to ask for a date with Lauryn Hill. So people only see that I'm white, ignore skill, cause I stand out like a green hat with orange bill, but I don't get pissed. You don't even see through the mist. How the fuck can I be white? I don't even exist. I get a clean shave, babe, go to a rave, die from an overdose to dig myself up out of my grave. My middle finger won't go down. How do I wave? And this is how I'm supposed to teach kids how to behave. Now follow me and do exactly what you see. Don't you want to grow up to be just like me? Slap women that eat shrooms and OD. Don't you want to grow up to be just like me? Me and Marcus Allen went over to see Nicole. Heard a knock at the door. Must have been Ron Gold. Jumped behind the door, put the orgy on hold, killed them both and smeared blood on the white Bronco. My mind won't work if my spine don't jerk. I slap Garth Brooks out of his rhinestone shirt. I'm not a player, just an ill rhyme sayer. They'll spray an aerosol can up in the ozone layer. My rap style's warped. I'm running out the morgue with your dead grandmother's corpse and throw it on your porch. Jump in the chicken cartoon with a cape on. I'm about as normal as Norman Bates, who's forming a trait. Premature birth that was 4 minutes late. Mother, are you there? I love you. I never meant to hit you over the head with that shovel, Will someone please explain to my brain that I just severed the main vein with a chainsaw and I'm in pain? I take a breather inside. Either I'm high or I'm nuts. Cause you ain't tilting this room, neither am I. So when you see a mom with a thermometer shoved in the ass, it's probably obvious I got it on with her. Cause when I drop the solar shit, it's over with. I bought MG's case tape dubbed over. I came to the club drunk with a fake ID. Don't you want to grow up to be just like me? I got genital warts and the burns when I pee. Don't you want to grow up to be just like me? Been with 10 women that got HIV. Don't you want to grow up to be just like me? I tie a rope around my penis and jump from a tree. You probably want to grow up to be just like me, don't you?
Mr. Steve Kubin, I'm Andy Dick's best friend. Catch me live on Kermit and Friends podcast with Elisa Jordana from the Howard Stern Show and Andy Dick. And follow me on Instagram at HUDISAACSON. And on Netflix, VH1 and Bravo. Starring alongside Andy Dick, Mike Tyson, and Mickey Goose Jr. The dollar store version of Jack Black and Callie Nolan. Mazel Tov and Happy Kwanzaa.
Hey, Barry.
Hey, Lisa, how are you? I'm just
okay.
chilling here, lying in my bed, chilling.
Okay.
Yeah, I actually woke up. I woke up late. That's why I'm late for the show.
All right, well,
Anyways,
welcome to Kermit and Friends.
yeah. So, I wanted to ask you what happened with Kleenex and Stuttering John the other night.
Well, Kleenex was great. He's Kermitarian of the Week. He was so sweet. I enjoyed his company. He had a great personality. Let me just say, Kleenex in real life is way better than Kleenex on Periscope or Kleenex, in that movie, or Kleenex even on the old Kermit and Friends. He's better in real life. He really shines. And he actually, I don't know if it was just the juxtaposition of John and him, just comparing them. It was just, there was no comparison. Kleenex was a good time and John was not. And I think that's why he might be avoiding the show today, John, because he did not show well. He did not. I got to tell you, John stuck Kleenex with the bill. Okay. That's one thing. He stuck him with the bill, Kleenex. And then not only that, but he was just complaining. And then he was putting down Kermit and Friends. He was just really like, I'm going to call him right now. Hold on one second. Let's see if he's there. Because I don't like people that
you've reached John Melendez.
See, his phone's not even on. What a jerk. I'm just done with people like that. Charmin's right. I should just completely ignore him from now on. And I'm just pissed. I'm pissed that he was, I'm pissed that I gave him the opportunity to hang out with me and Kleenex. He doesn't even deserve. He thinks he's such like a great guy. Meanwhile, Kleenex was way more fun than him and way more nice than him. He wasn't fun and he wasn't nice.
Yeah. So I did want to say that's really great that Kleenex is a really cool cat in person.
Yeah.
That I didn't know, but I always thought he was a cool cat because you know, he is the kind of humor that I like, that's obnoxious and like over the top, you know, like the kind of shit that I do on my show with my reality show. So, you know, and so, you know, Kleenex is a big fan of mine, and I'm actually trying to help the guy out get his own show with Nile eventually when time is right, just like I'm trying to do with you. But I did want to say that that Israel, they took a mutated HIV virus, is what they want.
Wait, there's a new person here that I don't know who it is. A guy named Magic Mike.
HIV virus is what they want.
Magic Mike. What is that? I don't know what that is. Magic Mike, you're echoing. You don't even have a picture. I don't know who you are. Andy, how's it going? You're muted, Andy. I don't know what that was. But anyway, we have a new person. Magic Mike, are you a new person here? But anyway, we have a new person. Oh my God, everybody's so out of it today. But yeah, Kleenex is Kermitarian of the Week because he was just so nice. And I'm very open to meeting people now. I wasn't really open to meeting up with other like Kermitarians, but now I am because it was just such a wonderful experience meeting Kleenex, and he really surprised me. So I'm just very blessed, you know, to have him in town, right? Another person that met Kleenex was Eric. Eric met Kleenex in person. Did you have a good experience with him too?
Oh, yeah, you know, Kleenex is one of those people I can really say, you know, saved my life, you know, and really picked me up and took me under his wing. And we smoked a lot of cigarettes back then. Last time I talked to him, he said he'd quit smoking. But yeah, he's a great guy. He's just a really great guy. I do have a poem for you, Lisa. Can I read this poem for you?
Sure.
Sure. Okay. So this is total non sequitur. It's called True to Life. It goes like this. She's single and she likes you. That's what's true to life. She doesn't need to text you back. And here's why. Because you are enough. Enough's enough. Baby girl, you are so tough. And now I'm going to make you my wife. Why? You're true to life. My why wife. You're so true to life. She's at work from 6 a.m. to 6 p.m. That's what's true to life. Crushing it on the telephone. And here's the reason why. It's because you are my love. My love's so true. Baby girl, I love you so much. And now I'm going to make my moves on you. My why? You're true to life. You're my why wife. You're so true to life. She's single and she likes you. That's the most important part. Is there a doctor in the house? Because she has my heart. My law office is across town. That's where I keep my spark. Do you want to marry me? Then you better be safe than sorry. Why? You're true to life. That's my why. Blow out the candles, make a wish. Let's be true to life. That's all I got, guys.
So was that was for me?
That's just a poem. Kind of working on a song. Yeah.
I liked it. It was.
Yeah. It was a nice poem. You're very creative and
gentle.
Yeah.
How you doing, gentle? How you doing, gentle, Eric?
He's nice. He's a nice guy. No, I appreciate your poetry and everything that you do, Eric. And I think everyone does appreciate you here. Wait, so the poem, so you're single. Wait, read it again. Read it slower.
Okay. It says, she's single and she likes you.
Okay, that's me. I'm single and I like you. Is that what that's about?
I think, yeah, perhaps you're the character of the poem.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Keep going.
That's what's true to life. She doesn't need to text you back. And here's why. Because you are enough. Mm-hmm. Enough's enough.
Oh, so you don't mind that I don't text you back?
Well, at least the character in the poem, you know, I don't, the person maybe writing the poem doesn't care if the character in the poem doesn't text her back.
Okay.
Because she is enough. You are enough. Baby girl, you are so tough.
There's a couple of things I want you to fix about the poem. I'm not working from 6 to 6 anymore. I changed my hour. No.
Oh. So now you're like 8 to 5, 9 to 5?
I'm trying to be 9 to 5. I didn't like working 6 to 6. I don't even like working 9 to 5, to be honest with you. But I'd like to work less. So can you just fix that part?
Yeah, I'll just fix that one part. So it's 9 to 5.
Yeah, 9 to 5. 9 to 4, if I could. Or she'd like to work 9 to 4.
Yeah. Okay, I changed that for you, sweetheart.
Okay, now keep going.
Let's see here. Baby girl, you are so tough. Oh, wait. So let's see. 9 to 4. Okay. And that's the reason. That's why you're true to life. Crushing it on the telephone. And here's the reason why. It's because you are my love so true. Baby girl, I love you so much. Now I'm gonna make the moves on you. You know, I'm thinking of maybe we could pitch this to like someone like Justin Timberlake or
I don't think he
who
makes
else is out
music
there?
like that anymore.
He doesn't like bringing sexy back and stuff like that.
That's so old.
Lori, what do you think of these poems? Do you like them?
I think it's funny.
Yeah,
Eric is very peculiar.
Do you still talk to Eric on the phone?
He called me the other night at work, and I told him, I'm sorry, Eric, I can't talk, I'm at work. And he said, well, I just wanted to say that I love you, baby. And then he hung up.
Eric, what's going on?
I'm just.
He's always calling me when I'm busy, and I can't talk. Wow,
Yeah.
did he just roll his eyes at me?
No, I didn't roll out my eyes at you, Lori. I think it's really cool though that you saw Kleenex in person. Kleenex, I know, has been your biggest fan since you started this show, you know, and I know that Kleenex is a really, really, really good guy, you know, and not only that, but he's a really, really, really real guy who's been through a lot. And when you hear his story of what he's been through, but also he's very successful. He's a very successful insurance agent. I'm in insurance right now, you know, and he's been through a lot. But not only that, but he really, really cares about you. And he's a really, really real friend. So I just think it's really cool that you saw him in person. You know, someone who I meet out of nowhere and he says, yeah, you know, I would give you $1,000 to move back to Los Angeles so you could work with her again. You know, it's like only someone with a really good heart.
Wait, Kleenex was going to give you $1,000 to move back here?
Yeah, I have a lot more than that in my bank by now, Kleenex, working in insurance.
Yeah, I was going to finance him back to his the love of his life.
Wow.
Other reasons he had other reasons. He was, I don't know. I got to start being an asshole again, I guess. But
that was nice. No, that was really nice of you to
and
offer
then
that.
I was proud of, you know, I say a lot of things about him because, you know, let's be honest. Eric suffers from some strange things.
Michael Jackson syndrome.
Yeah. But he's, you know, he's I think he's kind of moved into Seattle and he's liking it, and I think it was good that he make it, because, you know, he made it in Austin. He told me about Austin, and he started there with nothing, and I think it's going to help him to, you know, to stick it out. And I think he's happy what he's doing right now.
I'm pretty happy. You know,
not happy where he's living. He told me that, right?
Yeah, very happy. I just did a fingerprinting for my life insurance license the other day.
Ah.
And I got the keys to my new apartment. It's beautiful. And yeah, I've got a beautiful life. What can I say?
Good, Eric. I'm so happy to hear that. So there's some people that are trying to get in here. I don't know who you guys are. So I don't know if I'm going to take the risk because I really like, you know, Dr. Fernando, and I don't want to get the stream taken down. So let's just be safe right now and talk to author Aaron Ozzie about what he's doing for the COVID virus. And what are you doing for the COVID virus, Aaron? And you're muted too.
I'm sorry about that, Elisa. Thank you so much
That's
for
okay.
having me on today again. It was nice to meet Dr. Fernando earlier. Eric, it's good to see you again. It's been some time. And I got to say, first and foremost, I was listening to your poem. I think you definitely have a way with words, and, you know, you're coming true from the heart with a lot of those points. And I think if you continue to develop that further and work on other pieces, you're going to continue to build your craft and, really turn, this writing into something special. So please keep at it.
Yeah, never give up, Eric.
Thank you so much. That means so much from such a profound author for children's books. I'm working on a children's book right now too.
You'll have to tell me more about it. Connect with me offline and tell me about it, please. I really wanted to say thank you, Lisa, for giving me the opportunity to kind of talk about what I have been doing during the pandemic to help families in need, not necessarily, providing them with financial resources or anything of that nature, but to provide families and especially children with a very much needed distraction aside from everything that's going on in the world. And back when you and I had originally met, the movie that was created based off of my best-selling children's book, Regulus, that was originally slated to be released in theaters. And we had a big premiere plan for it and a huge marketing track already scheduled and, on the way. And unfortunately, with the pandemic and shutting everything down, I made the, abrupt decision to make it available through Amazon directly, because right as the movie was about to come out, that was really in the first 2 weeks of March 2020 when everything started to shut down. So made it available during that time for children to really kind of distract themselves from what was going on and to provide them with some source of entertainment while they're stuck at home and quarantining and so forth. And but more recently, though, just kind of in everything else that I've been doing as an author, a lot of the new projects that I'm working on, there's 2 more books on the way, and also launching a merchandise store finally, which is something that fans have been asking me for about 6-7 years now. All of those projects, in some way, shape, or form are, either targeted towards children and families kind of experiencing the pressures of what's going on in the world right now. But it's also on the side of trying to contribute some of the royalties or the earnings from those projects to families in need, by donating to various charities and trying to, help them during such a rough time. So, but it's been, very, heartwarming to kind of hear from fans, especially children, and their families. And, a lot of them are interfacing with me wearing masks and, socially distanced. And it doesn't feel the same as how it once was before the pandemic started. But I feel like everyone is moving towards normalcy. And I feel like through a lot of my efforts, it's giving people hope and also trying to provide them with much needed resources to kind of overcome what the struggles they're facing. So.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Thank you for doing good things for the world. Speaking of good things for the world, we have Stuttering John. Welcome to the show. You showed up. Wow.
How are you, Lisa? I'm still in the middle of the draft, but you know what? I know you don't know much about, fantasy football, but what happens is these idiots, they pay the $100 to be on. They don't come on and draft. So then the computer takes over. So you got to wait 2 minutes for every player for the computer to finally make a pick. That's why I didn't know it was going to take this long. So I'm actually still drafting, but I told you I'd come on, so I'm coming on because I'm a man of my word.
Okay, so the draft, you're not playing any sport. You're just like sitting.
Yeah, but you got to pick the right players because after it's done, that's your team. And then as soon as the season starts, then you start, then you'll start people and then you won't. It's fun. My freaking brother got me into it, but I've been doing it for 7 years now.
Okay, so 7 years you've been.
It's big business.
So
big. Any football fan is probably in a fantasy, in a fantasy league. I'm in 5.
So what are you doing? You're sitting what are the actions that you're doing? You're just sitting and watching something? Are you involved?
I showed you a picture of it. So right now, I'm waiting on. There's 8 picks until my turn. So now I'm waiting, and then I pick a defense because I have 4 picks left. That's how long this stupid thing is going. I've been doing it since 11 o'clock.
Okay, we're getting a caller. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Yeah, it's a 2-part question for Stuttering Fuckface. Why are you such a cheap bastard and stiffed everyone with the bill? And why can't you close the deal with Elisa? I loved when you got rejected to even go hiking with her. Can you please address that? Thank you.
So it was hard to get you on the show today, John. It was really hard to get. I wanted you on the show. I love you on Kermit and Friends. You're always great. Last time we got a lot of rave reviews of our fight. This time you would not come on the show unless what?
Well, I didn't want it to be contentious. I mean, if that was then, this is now. I mean, that's not what I'm all about at this point. And addressing the guy's question, I never stiffed anybody. That's such a fallacy, and I'll explain it.
Okay.
I paid everybody on my comedy tour, Nick DiPaolo, $2,500 for a weekend. Nick wasn't getting that for a whole week. I paid Jim Florentine and Modi $1,000 each week. I didn't stiff anybody. That's a fallacy. And I forget what the other question was. Oh, he loves that you reject me. Hey, you got to try. You try for 10, you might get 1.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point. But you weren't happy when I showed up. You weren't happy at all. When I showed up at the dinner, you said, "Oh, can we have dinner?" And I said, "Yes." And then I walked in there.
I had a great time.
You had a great
time? It was a lot of fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
Really?
Yeah, I like your friends. They were really nice.
Well, lucky for you, I have one of the friends right here, Kleenex.
Hey, Chip Dick, how are you, buddy?
Chip Dick, Chris Dick. Get it right, goddammit.
Oh, I thought it was Chip. How are you,
Christopher Dick. Anyway, John, come on. Let's talk about what you really did. Just a little bit. Just a little bit.
About what?
You seem kind of irritated.
This is typical you. You just want to get
No. You don't know.
I get
John,
it.
John, what was I telling you?
Go ahead.
I know a lot about you. You know nothing about me.
Okay.
So, and then I made the mistake of pronouncing your name wrong, your last name wrong.
Oh yeah, I think you said Menendez. I said I didn't kill my parents.
I know, and there was a
Give me
few.
a second.
But so you were actually, after you warmed up, you actually did have a good time, because you seemed because you in the beginning you seemed very upset that there was other.
No, I wasn't upset. I just hate driving over the hill.
Okay.
I get cranky having to drive over the hill. It's just I hate. There's something about living in the valley. The last thing you want to do is drive over the hill. It's a pain in the ass.
Yeah. Okay. Let's go with that.
Sure. I hate even when I pranked
Donald
Trump. Even when I pranked Donald Trump, I had a date in Beverly Hills, and I had to drive over the hill.
I do recall that.
I hate driving over.
Your shining moment with Trump. But my question is,
at least after I left you, I went to the Comedy Store.
Oh yeah,
guess how much it costs for one 12-ounce bottle of beer, a Coors Light at the Comedy Store?
$14.
$11.
Okay.
Then I leave a $2 tip, Chris, so you're close. $13 for one stupid freaking beer. And I tipped the valet there $20. So it cost me $33 for 15 minutes and a beer.
Did you get to go on stage?
No.
Why not?
Oh no.
Why not?
They were booked because they were booked solid.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that. So is that a lot? I see. Usually drinks are like $20.
Like put it this way, when we went out, I bought Chris a giblet, but they kept screwing it up, so he finally got a vodka and grapefruit. That was like $11, but that's
for Kleenex?
2.5 shots. So that's the equivalent of 2.5 beers.
Because Kleenex paid the bill, and then you felt the need to pay another bill. I was so confused by that.
Because I didn't want him to pay the whole bill. So I then bought Chris a drink.
But the thing is,
and then I bought somebody else, and then I bought you a drink, Elisa.
Yeah, you did. You bought you a drink. I think he did. Yeah. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, and because then the bill was $50.
But John, the big thing about the evening is the evening was going pretty good. I didn't want the evening to come about bills and drinks not being made properly.
No, I know. But
I just was trying to.
That place was not treating us too kindly. Because,
no, they weren't. I gotta agree.
I mean, because your friend, Elisa, who was your other friend there?
Johnny and Josh.
Josh, he was livid, and he was like, "I'm going to call that place on on Tuesday and ask for the manager."
And Josh,
because they weren't even giving us any service.
Well, and then when they were like giving us attitude, but I was
I know, but it was bizarre though, wasn't it, Chris? Like they didn't even come over and ask us if we wanted anything.
No. But other than that, I enjoyed the place. I mean, there was a couple bumps in a row, but
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I mean, you guys were fighting. I don't know about what.
No, I wasn't fighting. It's just she came back and she said, in the vodka gimlet, what type of vodka are you on? I said, well, Grey Goose. And then she brought back just a Grey Goose. And we were like, oh, my God.
Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry for everything that's been going on. So John, how is your life now? How is your life currently? Are you having fun?
I'm having a great time. Hold on just 1 second. I'm just going to draft one quick pick here. All right. See, did you hear that sound?
Was that the draft?
Yeah, that's the draft. So let me just pick. I'm just going to pick the Pittsburgh Steelers defense here. So hold on.
Okay, pick that draft pick. And now we have Arf Bark, who's the host of the wrap-up show. He has some insight about a discussion that you and I had prior.
Hey, Arf, how are you?
Hey, man, nice to see you. Hey, so I got a chance to look at that clip between Elisa and you for about 49 minutes where you kind of made a little joke about someone, right? And I got to say, you know what? Like you're making fun about them and all that. I got to say, because I used to do stand-up comedy when I was younger, I think, Elisa, you were a little bit too hard on John because it is comedy.
It's in the past. Who cares?
Yeah,
I don't
okay,
No, it's okay. I want to hear what he has to say. This is our wrap-up show host, so he's very important.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
But,
what's your real name, by the way?
James.
James, how are you, James?
Hey, good, man. I just wanted to say that. That's all. You know,
Happy Sunday.
Happy Sunday to you. It was a little bit hard, Elisa. You know, John was doing it from stand-up comedy, and you know, I'm Chinese, so I get that all the time. I hear the jokes all the time. I do it myself a little bit as well when I was doing it 20 years ago. So I just want to say that. Just, you know, I think John was okay, but I don't think, you know, going that long would have been that cool. Sorry, I just
So what he's referring to, so what Arf Bark is referring to is years ago, John and I had a fight about a guy that was on Kermit and Friends. So I
didn't know had a mental problem.
Yeah, so I
didn't know that. I was unaware of that. So, you know, so I made a mistake. And I apologize. I didn't know.
Yeah, just assume everybody here is mentally disabled. Okay. Yeah, so just assume that.
That's very funny, Lisa. No, but I didn't know. And plus, I had like 10 beers at that point. That was in my smoking stage, Lisa. I don't smoke anymore.
Yeah.
So I had an OCD thing where I had to have one beer, a fresh beer with every cigarette. So I would like literally not finish a beer because I'd have to have a different beer. So I would go through like 15 beers because I wanted to smoke 15 cigarettes. You know, OCD is a horrible thing to have. But as you know, we both worked for Howard Stern. He also has suffered from OCD. And I also work for Jay Leno. He also has OCD tendencies. And I've had plenty of discussions with Howie Mandel, who also has OCD. It seems very prevalent in the entertainment business.
I wonder why that is.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I do too. Let me just I'm just drafting a kicker right now. Then I have 16 picks, so now I could take a break from this for a little while.
So I was reading about what's going on with you. You kind of shifted into the political area of podcasting. What made you do that? Is that fun for you?
Yes, I thoroughly enjoy it. I pranked the president, which I'm sure you've heard of, right? And I got Donald Trump and Jared Kushner to call me from Air Force One. I was not very happy with Donald Trump as our president, so I became very outspoken about it. And then I shifted the show from being an entertainment show to being a political show. And now I'm doing damn well at the politics. And that's somebody from the draft just goofing on another player. But I enjoy it. I have congressmen on. I have congresswomen on. I have very prolific political speakers like James Carville. I had Ed Asner on my show twice. Unfortunately, he passed away last week. But, you know, so I have a lot of political activists on, and it's something I really enjoy doing. Now, after this show, I have my beer on the balcony. That is an entertainment show. I think I had you on that. You and Monique. And
she's still on it with you?
No, sometimes. But today I'm having comedian David Feldman, who was the writer for Triumph the Insult comic dog. So I do that for all my Patreon and YouTube members. So I've actually been able to make a decent livelihood at doing this.
So how much money can you make drinking beer on your balcony?
Well, the beer on the balcony is just that's just here. This is my balcony. You want to see my balcony?
Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I could change it here. Damn it. I don't know if I could change it on your show here. Damn it.
Oh, somebody's calling me. 1 second, John. Kermit and Friends.
Hi, Elisa. This
Hi.
is Dolly.
Dolly!
Hi.
Hi. Big fan, Dolly.
I'm your biggest fan, too. I would like to invite John for a private milking session.
Oh, my gosh. He might not
what?
know. Wait, he might not know what that is, Dolly. Hold on. Let me just turn my volume up so you can explain. What is a milking session, Dolly?
It's something very interesting, and it involves BDSM and all kinds of naughty stuff.
All right. That's a good offer, Dolly. I think that would be good. How should he contact you if he wants to be milked, right, in your milking session? Is it going to be a one-on-one milking session?
What is a milking session?
Wait, you have to describe it better. He's asking questions. He's warm to this, I can tell. What is exactly a milking session? She's going to explain it. Explain it better, Dolly.
A milking session where I talk to you in a very naughty voice.
And
I can explain more in private.
See, coming on Kermit and Friends is fun. Thank you, Dolly.
Thank you.
Wow. John, see, look how great this is. I told you to come on the show. It's going to be great for you. I knew it. Okay, so she'll reach out to you later. Okay, so how much money can you make? So with what you're doing right now, okay, like I'm always curious about this because I have Kermit and Friends, I'm trying to make it bigger. How much money can you make every time? Do you do a show every day?
Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at noon. And then on Sunday at 2, I do a beer on the balcony.
Okay, so you're doing a lot of shows. So yearly, what kind of salary is that?
I'd rather not say, but it's pretty well.
Is it like
I do fairly well.
Is it like 50,000, 100,000?
I do fairly well.
200,000. Are you on Cameo?
Yeah.
Okay. So what's better for you? Is it YouTube?
Can we all say a prayer for a comedian, a friend of mine?
A prayer?
Yeah, Kate Quigley.
That's your friend?
Yes, and she's now in the ICU.
I know.
My friend Adam Hunter. She was hanging out with Darius, from Hootie and the Blowfish, and they were doing coke. Apparently, it was laced with fentanyl. 3 of them, all comics, died, and Kate is in the ICU. So I know you're a religious person, Elisa. So let's say a prayer for Kate Quigley. I hope she recovers.
Yeah, I mean, we hope she recovers. I was very disturbed.
I've done so many shows with her. She's been on my show so many times. We've had drinks together. I mean, so she's a funny lady. She's a beautiful lady. So I hope that she can make it. I hope that she could, get better. It was a pretty sad news I got yesterday.
Yeah, that is really bad. I was reading about that this morning. So it was multiple comedians that got coke from some drug dealer.
Yep.
And it's like, I mean, I'm telling you, every time I hear that, it's like, how could you ever do that? You don't do it, do you, John? Do you do coke?
I have. I don't make a habit out of it, but I have done coke in the past. But I'll tell you right now, a story like this, it makes you rethink that.
No, but how could you trust a drug dealer at all with anything?
I know. Well, look, I've been lucky. I've never had that problem. But can you imagine you do coke and then you end up dying?
No, you should just assume you're going to die. If a drug dealer gives you something, just assume it's your last day on earth because they don't know where they got it.
They got it from. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, last time I was in Fort Lauderdale doing stand-up last month, 60 pounds of cocaine washed up on the beach in Fort Lauderdale. But who knows where that stuff came from? And who knows what it's cut with?
Yeah, exactly. I wanted to ask you, I read another article. So
have you ever done cocaine?
Never. I would never, because I know about people that
Have you
died.
smoked weed?
So the worst thing that I did that I would never do again is Molly. I hated that.
Oh God, I never did that.
Oh, it was so horrible. I thought I was gonna die, and
Oh.
I didn't want to do it, and I was kind of not forced to do it, but it was a situation where the person was saying, "Oh, you're like not fun. You're not like." You're so uptight, and they use this for like psychologists use this. I was just, I was tricked into it. And then I took one, and then they asked me if I felt anything, and I said no. And then they gave me another one. And so I took two, and it was the worst night of my life. And I thought for sure I was going to be dead.
Let me ask you, were you on that when you said yes to Andy Dick's proposal?
No, he was after.
That to me is the funniest thing I have ever heard. I thought it was just a goof, but you told me at dinner the other night that it's real, that you guys were actually engaged. Only you had to buy the ring.
Yeah, I mean, he is really fun to be with. He is like, he has a happiness about him. He's a childlike quality that I really like.
But he's a lunatic.
No, he's a lunatic, but I love lunatics. I mean, I dated briefly this guy, Eric, before Andy, right? And
hey, is that before or after Gonzo? Oh, before or after Benji? Before or after Vin Diesel? Before or after David Blaine?
These are the questions, right? Yeah.
Before or after Ethan Hawke?
It's really nice meeting you, John.
Hi, Eric. How are you, buddy?
I'm doing pretty good. And it's great to meet someone like you who has been at it for so long and is interviewing all the time.
Yeah. Annalisa, I'm a man of my word. You have to admit.
You are. I know. I'm pleased. I'm so pleased. Hold on one second.
I was nervous about the football draft because it was going too long.
John's comedy show last week in Florida when he was there a couple weeks ago.
John's comedy show in Florida? Okay.
Yeah, they were giving away free tickets and only 10 people showed up.
Oh, really?
Should I ask him about that?
Go ahead, because it's not true.
Okay. I have no, that is not a regular caller. That's a new person. I don't know how that
At you have to understand something.
Yeah.
They don't boo nobodies. When you have like people like, and I get it all the time. I get trolls on my show all the time using the N-word. Like, I know you're a religious person, spewing hate, doxing my moderator, who happens to be African-American.
Oh, is your moderator that octopus that I know?
No, her name is Nikki. Okay. She's black. They call her the N-word. They make up these stories about, like, I didn't sell any tickets. It's like, it's relentless, but you know what? You got to move on. To me, I find it funny. They even paid, because my mother, she watches my show all the time. So, Lisa.
She does?
Pay. Yeah, they'll pay.
Has she always watched it?
Since it's become a political show, yeah. So they pay $5 because my mom had high blood pressure. She had to be rushed to the emergency room because she's in her 80s, right?
Okay.
They pay $5 to come in with the name, "Die, Mrs. Melendez, you old hag." So my mother could see this. So a guy like that who was just on your phone, I know you're like a religious person now. Those are the kind of people that are filled with such hate and aggression, and their lives are so pathetic that they have to resort to doing that. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I see what you're saying. I mean, I accept all calls here, but I see how
I understand. I'm not dogging you or anything. I'm just saying it's sad that this is their lives.
Yeah, no, it is. I feel there's some people that have been writing to me for years, like so many years. It's like shocking that have just been hateful in everything they've written. And sometimes I look like at my past messages and it's just so horrible for years and years and years. And I have no relationship with that person. And I usually don't write back to that person. So that is very odd. Always when I see that. But I mean, I think that as far as you go, do you ever get worried though? Like, see, you said the 10 tickets thing wasn't correct, but do you ever get worried, when doing shows that nobody will show up?
I don't get worried about that. I mean, for the most part, I'm at like I'm headlining like the Laugh Factory in you know, in Reno. Sorry, I just made a pick. Sorry. I just yeah. So I'm hosting there. I mean, it's guaranteed, you know, to have a lot of people. I've done it before. You know, as soon as you get off the plane in the airport, there is my picture on a billboard at the airport, which is kind of cool.
Oh, really? At the airport?
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, that's so neat.
But I'll tell you something funny about doing stand up in Reno. I had to do.
I love that.
I had to do a bunch of radio shows, and I called an Uber. It's the only time in my life that the Uber driver showed up in a pickup truck.
So, okay, so you had a billboard. So you're not worried about anything like that. Does anything embarrass you? Like, I was wondering, you know, you had that lawsuit.
I wore the mankini on the freaking Tonight Show.
Oh, okay, so there was an article that
I had
you know,
my head shaved on the Tonight Show. Nothing embarrasses me.
No, but that's different than like, so like it says former Howard Stern castmate Stuttering John lost his lawsuit against SiriusXM and claimed the broadcaster was exploiting his celebrity to gain listeners and attract more advertising. Does that get embarrassing?
Why?
Does that?
Why? I'm appealing right now.
So do you think you're going to win that lawsuit?
And just keep in mind, there are a lot of people behind me. I can give names: Steve Grillo and Scott DePace and Doug Goodstein. There are a lot of people who are being abused, their likeness being abused. They don't want to be played anymore. Scott DePace doesn't want.
Why
because
not?
They don't. Because he has another job directing another show. He doesn't want what he said 15 years ago to now be replayed and replayed nonstop on Sirius, which he never worked for. So it's just it's a horrible abuse that SiriusXM has done. I'm not embarrassed by it. And I'm the first of many who are incredibly livid about the higher ups at SiriusXM. Now, notice I didn't sue Howard Stern personally because you know I wouldn't do that. That's not in my nature. I'm suing SiriusXM, and now I'm going to appeals court.
But hasn't it helped you at all in your career to get those billboards?
No,
I
don't need them to play any more of me. I don't make a dime off it. Put it this way, Elisa. I wrote for the Tonight Show with Jay Leno for 10 years, okay? Whenever they use anything from those 10 years that I was there, any little clip, I get a residual check of like $2 or $3 grand, okay? So that's what real people do. That's what the unions do.
So that's what it's about for you. It's not a personal vendetta. At all?
No, it's not at all. Look, I have nothing bad to say about Howard. I have in the past because he said a lot of horrible things about me. He said a lot of horrible things about Jay Leno, and Jay couldn't be probably the nicest boss I ever had in my life is Jay Leno. And Howard trashed him so badly, Elisa. And let me tell you something. After a rehearsal, I went up to Jay and said, Jay, I'm really sorry. This is all because of me. And Jay put his hand on my shoulder and said, John, I don't give a fuck. So Jay got beaten up so badly by Howard. And you being a religious person, let me tell you something. Jay Leno helps people on the staff. And this is a fact. If somebody's friend or relative ends up in the hospital and they can't pay the hospital bills, you know what Jay Leno does? He pays the whole hospital bill. Now, here's a contrast to that. Scott, the engineer, his wife is dying of cancer. He comes up to Howard to see if he can do a GoFundMe, and Howard says, you know, you're not allowed to talk to me. Scott, the engineer, has to do a $50,000 GoFundMe to pay for the medication to help his wife. And Howard Stern does not donate a dime. Hold on. I'm just let me draft for 2 seconds, okay?
Okay. Take your time.
I only have one more pick and I'm done. So let me see who we got left here. I'll take another quarterback. Screw it. Okay. Okay, I'm done. There we go. How do you like that, Elisa? All done.
Good. I'm glad. No, I'm enjoying this conversation so much. It's fascinating.
Okay, Scott, the engineer, and by the way, I've talked to Scott about this. We talked on the phone. It's very sad. Do you know, and Scott's wife passed away, Elisa. First of all, when Scott set up the GoFundMe page, Marcy Turk, I call her Yoko Turco. Howard was so embarrassed and mad, they demoted Scott to a different floor. He was no longer an employee of the Howard Stern Show. They wrote him out of scripts, and he was on a different floor. When Scott's wife died, do you think, after 30 years of working with Howard Stern, do you think that Howard came down and gave him a hug and gave his condolences? No. You know what Howard Stern did, Elisa?
What?
He sent him a 2-sentence email. Beth and I are sorry for your loss. We donated to a cancer charity in your wife's name. That is the extent of it. 6 months later, Scott was fired. All right? So, you know, I know you want to be all cool about Howard Stern and all, but I'm just telling you, you know, he should at least own the fact that he wasn't such a great person to a lot of people on there.
So, okay, so that is very upsetting. Are you close with Scott?
I'm very close with Scott. When I was in Florida, I had dinner with Scott. Yes, I picked up the tab, just to go back to that other guy calling me a cheap bastard. Yes, I paid for the whole dinner. You know, there's a lot of these misnomers about me, Lisa. I'm a generous man. And, so like I get these people, they all come up with this false narrative. I stiffed the comics. Never in my life. Let me ask you a question.
I haven't heard that. Yeah.
If I stiffed any comic, do you think, why do I still talk to Nick DiPaolo? Why am I still friends with Jim Florentine and Modi? Why do I still do shows and talk with Greg Fitzsimmons? Why? You know why? Because I never stiffed any of them.
Okay, we're getting a caller. Kermit and Friends, how can I help you?
Hey, I was just calling because John sounds like he says he's not bitter, but as soon as he says he's not bitter, he goes on for 10 minutes. No.
That's Gonzo, by the way. Yeah.
Oh, Gonzo, hold on a second. I'm not bitter. I'm not bitter. But if you don't take care of a guy whose wife is dying.
Wait, I can't hear Gonzo. I can't hear what Gonzo's saying, John. Oh. What Gonzo?
Yeah. No, I'm just saying, like, John says he's not bitter, but then he goes on and, continues to be bitter for 10 minutes. I just wonder if John has, like, any self-awareness that he is bitter. And I don't know, because he gets very bitter about things.
Okay.
Okay, thank you, Gonzo.
Okay, thank you,
Great
Gonzo.
Call.
Okay, Elisa. Now, okay. Let's address the part about being bitter, okay? Because I'll answer anything. I'm not bitter about Howard. Scott, the engineer, is a good friend of mine. So when you hear, Elisa, if you have a dear friend of yours who gets shafted and screwed by Howard, wouldn't you speak up on behalf of your friend? Or should I just pretend that it never happened? You don't think Scott the engineer was happy with me that I spoke up and defended him? Because if you don't, you're wrong. Scott thanked me.
But if it was someone else, if it wasn't Howard, if it was another rich person, would you have been that upset?
If someone screwed a friend of mine, if someone screwed a good friend of mine, no matter who it is, put it this way. Am I a fan of Jimmy Kimmel after what he did to Jay Leno? No. And I'll say the same crap about Jimmy Kimmel. He was horrible to Jay Leno. Horrible.
Well, how so? I didn't know that.
Yeah. So now, does that make me bitter about Jimmy Kimmel? No. I'm just calling out the truth. So to answer Gonzo's question one more time, I'm not bitter about Howard, stiffing Scott the engineer. I'm angry that Howard stiffed Scott the engineer because Scott gave him 30 years of loyal service. And Elisa, I think in your heart of hearts, you would say that if somebody gives you that many years of loyal service, you should do more than send him an email when his wife that he loves passes away.
Listen,
I don't think you would do that.
John?
I think you would go down and give me a hug. If I when I was married, if my wife passed away, I think you would call me at least and offer.
I'm actually really bad with death. I'm so bad with death. I'm terrible. Like, even if I want to, I'm scared. Let me just take this caller, Kermit and Friends.
It's me again. 2-part question for Mr. Melendez.
Okay.
How much money did you donate to Scott's GoFundMe? And also, what happened to your front tooth? Did you get punched? Just wondering. Thank you.
Okay, Elisa, let me address I'll address the latter first.
Okay.
My front tooth right here, you see that?
Yeah.
I have 2 laminates, right?
Okay.
I was eating a chicken wing and the laminate broke.
Ah,
I went to the dentist. They already shaped me for a new laminate. I went to the dentist last week. The laminate was hitting against my bottom teeth, so they had to order a new one. So now I'm waiting for the new laminate to come up. As far as the former, his question was about what? I can't remember.
How much did you donate to Scott's charity?
Well, first of all,
GoFundMe.
I was unaware of the GoFundMe until after he closed it out, so I didn't get a chance to. Unique, is this Sion?
Yes, I changed my name.
Oh, how you doing, Sion?
I got my ear to the streets, John. What is this threatening people behind the scenes, the dox people, everything I hear on Who Are These podcasts? What's going on?
I don't know what you're talking about.
You are aware
I
there's
have
a show
people.
called Who Are These podcasts, and Kumia and Shuli go on there and trash you, right?
Who cares? They don't boo nobody, Sion. Let them trash me all they want. I don't care. I do my own show. It doesn't bother me. So
What about
trash
that
me all you want.
woman
You can do as many shows you want. Trash me all you want. I don't care.
Yeah.
But what about that
Really
lady
does not.
who said she
It really does
donated
not
to you?
bother me. And why don't you ever show your face? What are you so embarrassed about?
Go on my Facebook. My face is right there. But what about that
Why do you
woman
always
who
cover
said,
your face? Why do you cover your face so much every time you do a show?
Because you
your
don't
whole
get the
face is
gaze-
covered. I'm just
gaze
curious why
upon
you
this
do
beauty?
that.
Okay, now shut your mouth and let me ask about the chick who donated to you.
It's
and
an odd
then you
phenomenon
stopped-
that you cover your
you
face. all
stopped
the time.
donating because
I
you
don't know.
threatened her
Lisa,
because
why
you had
would
to
a guy cover
pay
his
your
face? Was
rent
he
or
that
something.
embarrassed?
I don't know.
I got a chipped tooth and I don't care.
You open up your
are you
soda
that
cans with
vain
that
you have
tooth?
to cover your face? I mean, I've never heard such a ridiculous thing in my
Stop
life.
filibustering and answer what I'm asking.
I've already
What about-
answered. I don't know what you're talking about, and
you
they
don't know
can
the
trash
woman
me
who
all they
donated
want.
to you?
I don't know what
don't
he's
care.
talking about, John. There's a woman that donated to John. Then what's the second part of the question?
Well, she donated to John, and then he said he needed the money to pay rent. Then he wanted to hook up with her.
Oh,
so she stopped donating.
By the way,
then he
that's
called her family.
Elisa, that's all a load of horse crap. That lady, that woman he's referring to, is a lunatic. She sent me he doesn't know.
I
She
don't
sent me
know.
a
That's what I'm
picture.
asking.
Well, let's get the answer. Let's see
She
what really
sent me
happened.
a picture pointing a gun at the camera, saying this is for you. Okay. She also would text me naked pictures of herself, which I didn't ask for. This lady is an absolute lunatic, and she's lied on all these shows about me. But the funny thing about it, Lisa, is when she goes on these shows and lies about me, every host, including the ones he has mentioned, figures out she's a lunatic. And they realize they go from saying that, she was normal to going, now I took advantage of a mentally insane person. So they can't have it both ways. I didn't know that she was a lunatic in the beginning. She seemed just like a generous fan. I didn't know. But then she suddenly became a lunatic. So much, I had my moderator listen in on the phone call, so I had a witness. So what you're saying, Sion, is not the truth. You're getting it from her. And you're getting it from her side. But let me tell you this right now. The things that she's spewing is absolute horseshit.
Oh, interesting.
And I swear on my life with that. I never asked her for money for child support. I could show you, Sion, if you want. The initial DM, Elisa, I swear on my life here, okay? I don't lie. I don't like to lie. She DMs me, John, I'm a millionaire. I could either donate large amounts of money to you or Joe Biden's campaign. And I go, I don't care, but if you want to donate to me, that would be fine. What am I going to say? No? I mean, what person would say, no, don't donate to me? So she did. Then it became scary. Then she kept on calling. Then she expected me to call. Then she wanted my neighbor's number so she can call and check on me. You know, this is how bizarre the rabbit hole became. She's a lunatic. So for these people in Scion to bring up an absolute, by the way, she's been in the asylum a couple of times.
Is she not as good looking as you thought she'd be originally, John?
Oh, I didn't know what she looked like in the beginning. I had no idea.
But if she was better looking, do you think that you would be calling her crazy?
No, I don't particularly think that she's an ugly looking woman at all. You know, I would never consider her an ugly looking woman. I think she's certifiably insane. And I think that, and I've contacted an attorney about suing her for the things that she said that are false and the things that she says on other shows that are false. Those other shows, though, they now realize that she's a lunatic and they have cut ties with her as well. And I know that as a fact because one of the shows that Scion is referring to, he started posting how nutty this woman is and he hopes that she leaves him alone. So that's a fact. So if Scion wants to spew nonsensical horseshit, he could do so.
Nonsensical.
Yeah, but I'm telling the truth. So he can say all of this garbage, but I know what the truth is because I have the texts, I have the DMs, I have all of those things. But do I want to waste my time with this woman who obviously needs serious help, whose father and mother take care of her? Okay, do you think I really want any involvement with this woman any more than I had to? I cut ties with her as I noticed the aforementioned shows that Scion Z said they've also cut ties with her because she's a lunatic. Look, Elisa, as you know, I'm sure you've experienced this. You're a beautiful woman. I'm sure you've experienced this as well. You get sycophants, you get lunatics, you get trolls. I'm sure you get them all the time. So you could only understand that I get them as well. And this woman is one of them. So
how much money did she give you?
Like, I don't know, like $2,000 in donations. I mean, she was very generous. But you have to understand, I don't know if you know how it works. I don't know if you do it, but I think you have to have a certain amount of subscribers. They do a certain thing called super chats, okay? Mm-hmm. So if you're a fan of the show, like Hal Sparks, or you're a fan of Heather McDonald, everybody does it.
No, I have that here. I have super chats.
Okay. So they donate super chats. There are people who have donated to me thousands over the years.
Okay, so this woman, so when she was sending you,
not accept the donation. I mean, look, I work.
No, you're going to accept the donation, but John, what made her send those nude pictures? Were you asking for nude pictures?
No, not at all.
No, but she had your cell phone.
I also didn't ask you to send me a picture holding a gun at me, threatening to kill me. So you know, this Scion dude comes on under a different name because they're all cowards. He doesn't even come on with his real name because they're all cowards. My name is Stuttering John Melendez. I live in Canoga Park. I go to Pickwick Pub every day around 3 or 4 in Woodland Hills. Feel free to come by if you have a beef with me. I know how to take care of myself. But you got these little cowards who try and create these false narratives. But that's all they are, is false narratives. And they like to spew them. For instance, they say, I don't see my kids. I never see my kids. Guess what I'm doing today, Elisa? I'm having dinner with my children. Okay.
But how would they even know that? How would they?
Don't.
Yeah.
They don't. Then they'll go on and they'll say, oh, John doesn't pay his child support. Elisa, I would be put in jail if I didn't pay my child support.
Yeah, that is ridiculous because there's no way for them to know that. They only know what they've heard on your podcast or on the radio. That's all they know.
What they hear on these other people's podcasts, who gets these people like this woman to come on and lie about me. Like Scion, he's a liar. Scion is
not a liar.
Scion lies on every single show.
First of all,
that
everyone
he
knows
does.
my name.
He lies.
Of course, we know where
constantly.
you live. We see the roaches during your live.
He is the
live in
liar.
Joseph Park.
Science, hold on one second.
Online. Hold on. just blank him out for a second, okay?
I did. I just muted him for a second,
Okay,
but he just regurgitates news that he's read other places. I don't think he makes up stuff.
Lisa, do you notice Zion post shows where he gets so drunk, he has fights with his mother-in-law live on the show, and he gets into huge battles? A drunken Zion, whose name is Kyle, gets into huge fights with his mother-in-law. It's so pathetically embarrassing to see this drunken lunatic start yelling at his mother-in-law through a closet door while he's broadcasting. And this guy is going to talk to me about ethics? Really? Are you fucking kidding me, Kyle? He gets it. Elisa, check it out. I don't lie. This is.
Are you watching Carl? Are you watching Kyle every day?
No. People tell me, John, you got to see. This is the funniest thing. Kyle is now fighting with his mother-in-law on his YouTube while he's completely inebriated. So I'm just saying, the people that like to throw stones, they live in glass houses. This freaking guy, who I know what his criminal record is. So, Kyle, you want me to get into that part of it? Because I can certainly get into your criminal history.
Why do you know his criminal history? That is weird, John. That is very weird. You should not know anything about that guy.
Alisa, people in my chats say it. There's nothing I could do. They write in my chat. You hear about Sion Z. Here's Sion Z's been arrested for this and for that. Oh, did you hear Sion Z got into a fight with his mother-in-law? I don't ask for this information, Elisa. People just say it.
Charmin, any thoughts on what's going on?
You know what? I'm actually kind of glad John's here sharing all this with us. We've had so much go on over the last couple of weeks between the Taylors and Mark Cruz, and how people just make stuff up and they just share stuff. I'm kind of glad this is happening, because it's happening everywhere. People just make stuff up about you and they say stuff that's not true, and then somebody else repeats it, and suddenly it becomes law and canon, and you're not paying your child support, and somebody else is doing that, and somebody else is doing this.
Charmin, it gets so bad. Charmin, it gets so bad that once I forgot to pay my gas bill, I just forgot, right, or something. So of course I paid it as soon as they told me that I was late. Then for a week on these shows that Sion had mentioned, they start writing, I can't afford my gas bill.
Then was it wintertime? Gas bills are expensive.
I just bought a new car. Then they write, oh, he bought a used Kia. Like, they make up this stuff.
Yeah.
But you know what? They do it, which means I must be doing something right. If they have this much time and energy to waste into hating on me,
then you must be doing something right? Because they're going to talk about something.
Avalanche. He said, John is still swinging on Howard Stern's balls. All right, listen, Elisa. I'll address this too, because I address everything, because I'm an open book. First of all, I rarely talk about Howard Stern. I worked with Jay Leno for 10 years and with Stephanie Miller, okay? Way after Howard. The only time I bring up Howard is when something comes up in the news. And if not, I'm talking politics on all my shows. I rarely ever talk about Howard.
All right, John, you just proved something to me. Now how I know that woman was telling the truth. You just threatened to release. I want to get into your criminal history, like everybody doesn't know, and I don't say it.
I'm saying you're out here. You're out here accusing me.
You obviously do that to everybody
you
have a problem with.
I'm saying people
everything
in glass houses
shouldn't
throw stones.
You tried doing with me.
Kyle, if you're going to go on and make false accusations about me, why don't I have the same right to make truthful accusations about you? Lisa, if he's going to make false accusations about me, why don't I also then have the right to make truthful accusations about him?
That is kind of confusing. It is.
If he's going to come on your show and lie about me,
he's just saying something he heard. Okay.
Yeah,
you were involved with this woman. You were involved with this woman
a little. To say what I heard, which is that he's been arrested on multiple occasions. That's what I heard. So he's allowed to say what he heard, but I can't say what I heard.
Yes,
That
John.
doesn't
I'm
seem
a
fair.
black guy from the hood. I've been arrested a bunch.
That doesn't seem
groundbreaking discovery.
That- hey,
I'm pretty sure you're probably paid
At least
for it,
that doesn't
unless
seem
you just
fair.
heard me say
He's
it.
allowed to spew
That's
lies
right.
about me, but I can't then. I can't then defend myself and then
I was
spew
saying I got
truth
arrested defending.
about
What
his
does that have to
criminal
do with
history.
anything?
I can't spew truths about him being inebriated, arguing with his mother-in-law, being horribly disrespectful. I can't.
What does this have to do
truth
with you ripping off this lady?
because I never ripped her off. There you go. There you go.
ripped her off.
Again,
I think I know what happened.
there you go.
Here, wait, Unique, 1 second. I think I know what happened.
No, hold on.
Okay.
Alisa,
Yeah.
he's spreading lies again. I
Okay.
didn't rip off anybody. She offered to donate to me, and I said, sure. If that's considered ripping somebody off, then let's get on every politician who accepts donations, okay? Let's get on Donald Trump for accepting $300 million right now in donations from a super PAC. If you're going to start worrying about people accepting donations, then let's get on every live streamer who accepts super chats, okay? Because that's the hypocrisy of Sion, because he also gets paid from YouTube.
My guess is that the woman that was donating wanted more out of the relationship from the 2000 than what she got. That's my guess.
Alisa, she wanted to fly me to Jamaica. She wanted to move in with me. She was a lunatic, and I didn't realize it until later on. And if you don't believe me, privately, the next time I see you, I'll show you the texts. Can I take you to Jamaica? Let's spend the week in Jamaica. She had a massive crush on me, and it got to be stalkerish.
She sounds like a great fan for Kermit and Friends. You should send her this way.
I'm telling you, Lisa.
I love Jamaica.
I wouldn't do it to my worst enemy.
All right, we have Barry.
Spend more than a day.
Okay, please hold. Barry, go ahead.
Hey, John,
Hello,
I have
Barry.
a question
How
for
are
you. Hey, John, how you doing? Long time fan here. I'm good. Long time fan here.
How are you?
So I'm great. Long time fan here. So I wanted to ask you, what's wrong with fucking lunatics? Because we have a shitload of them on this show, and as what makes this show, including myself, I'm a lunatic too.
Barry, your audio is so bad. Fix your audio. There's nothing wrong with lunatics. We love lunatics.
I
Hud
thought you
Isaacson.
usually done at 1 o'clock.
I know, but it's going well. Hud Isaacson, question for John.
Hey,
Stuttering.
Hud, how are you?
Hey, Stuttering John. It's good to meet you. My dad's a huge fan. Can you please tell my dad, Arnold Isaacson, that he has a big penis and that he's not balding?
I wouldn't know that. Show me a picture of his bald head. I don't want to see his penis.
Yeah, send
By
it
the
to the
way,
same
why the
place.
hell would he know about his dad's penis?
I don't know. He's an unusual
You know what?
guy.
I think that guy Barry was right. What's wrong with the lunatics? This guy's just asking me to say his dad has a big penis.
Yeah. No, he's a good son. Okay,
A
so
good son. That sounds like a creepy freaking son, if you ask me.
all right, John. So you know what? I think I was wrong. I think you're actually doing better than I thought. You don't seem bitter about anything. You seem to be having a good time.
I am, Alisa.
You're
But,
happy.
Look, I'm giving you the whole this woman thing. Look, it is. I have the tapes of the phone calls with her, not through me, through a third party. Anybody who would hear this would know how crazy she is. And I had it recorded for my own safety. Put it that way.
But were you excited that this woman was giving you money and wanting to fly you
At
places?
first, it seemed nice. She
Yeah.
seemed somewhat normal. But you know what? It's like Glenn Close in Fatal Attraction. They seem normal at first.
Right.
But then slowly you peel away at the onion and you realize they're batshit crazy.
Yeah, but that's anybody. I mean, get to know anyone very well, and it goes down.
Jackie the Joke Man used to have an album, Normal People, or People You Don't Know That Well, which, could be true, which is what you're saying essentially.
Yeah, I mean, once when you first meet somebody, they seem great. They're giving you money. They want to take you to Jamaica. They're sending nudes. From 1 to 10, what is she? Do you think she's an 8, a 7?
Probably a 6, maybe.
Okay. If she was an 8, would you have forgiven the gun?
No.
No.
It was way beyond that. I don't care if she was an 11.
Okay.
It was way beyond that. It was getting very scary at the end. It was getting really scary.
So Salma Hayek holds a gun against you and wants to take you to Jamaica. You say no.
Salma Hayek is not a lunatic like this woman.
Okay, so you're saying this woman is a lunatic. She threatened your life. You regretted getting involved with her. She's a dangerous person. Okay.
Well, if you want to see the picture of her pointing the gun at me, then you know, I mean, that takes a certain kind of crazy, wouldn't you say?
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so another question that I just have. So you're saying that the lawsuit, you think you're going to win this lawsuit, and you do not want your voice to be played on any radio. You do not. John, come on. You know you get excited when they play your voice.
Elisa, no, I don't.
You don't like that?
I was on the Stern Show for 15 years. I don't. It doesn't. I don't care. I don't. First of all,
you don't miss it at all. Nothing.
Look, I don't know about you. I don't know about you. I don't even like seeing myself here. I don't like seeing my own image anywhere.
I love seeing my image everywhere. Permanent friends.
Different. I'm not that vain. I don't need to be seen on the Howard Stern Show.
Wait, hold on. I can't hear the caller. What'd you say, caller?
I said, if John thinks this woman is crazy, why didn't he return her donations?
He probably needed the money. You needed the money, right, John? You said you needed it for rent.
Hold on a second. Oh, so let's get the premise of this question, Elisa. Okay. So after she holds a gun to me, now I'm going to send this woman money? Are you out of your mind? After what I had to put up with, her constant phone calls, her constant texts, her constant abuse on other people's shows, spewing lies. Now I'm going to reward her by giving her back her money. That's the most ridiculous comment I've ever heard in my entire life.
Yeah, I don't think I would have given it back either, honestly.
No, why would? If I have to deal with all that time and work, what my moderator.
Listen, he's podcasting like every day. It's a lot of work. You guys, I do this once a week. John is putting a lot of work into this. So the $2,000 is really like he should be getting way more all the time. This is not
by the way,
easy.
Elisa, other people have given me a lot more on my show. Some people donate $100 at a clip on my show.
No. I know that you get money, but I'm just saying to people, they don't realize what you have to deal with consistently. From people. I mean, people are holding guns up to John. I mean, people are driving him nuts. He's gone crazy. He's bitter. He's angry, right, John? And he's not mentally well. None of us are.
Who is not mentally well?
All of us that are doing this.
I wouldn't say I'm not mentally well. I think I'm fine. I don't know what you. I don't get it. I'm not bitter either.
Oh, you're not? Oh, okay. Because I feel like you
about 5 minutes ago that I wasn't bitter, and now you're saying that I am.
Well, just the fact that you have to go through all this on a consistent basis with a bunch of nutcases.
At least, can I just say this? Okay. People on these social media sites threaten to come to the places I hang out and hurt me. They post pictures of my children and disparage them. They take pictures of where I live and where I hang out and post them threatening me. Okay? Now, that doesn't make me bitter, but it does make you very cautious because, look, John Lennon was shot by one of these lunatics as well. And you know what? You don't know. You don't know if this woman who's pointing the gun at me doesn't end up coming to LA and attempting to kill me. You don't know that. I don't know that. So for them, I have to really consider this. I had to send a cease and desist against a certain broadcaster who was posting pictures of my minor children and making horrible anti-transgender statements, goofing on their appearance. They actually got wind of it, were very upset and distraught by the way these people were abusing my kids who have done nothing, absolutely nothing to anybody and do not choose the spotlight. If any of you, including Kyle, think that's okay, then you have something really wrong with you?
Still worth it though, right?
What?
Well, it's still worth it. I mean, so you're still doing this. You're saying it's putting you into.
I'm not going to stop. You know, it's like saying what, you know, I know this is much to a lesser extent, but you know, should Bill Maher, should Hal Sparks, should John Fugelsang, should any of these people stop doing their shows because they get people that threaten them? If that's the case, Howard Stern should have stopped doing his show 30 years ago. I would go through the mail at the Stern Show. You know how many death threats that Howard Stern would get on a regular basis? So is he supposed to stop doing what he loves? That's a ridiculous freaking premise, as far as I'm concerned. No, you will send your cease and desist. You will find out who they are, and that's it. I mean, you know, now they post things from my ex-wife's, you know, from her Facebook page and disparage my children. You know, these are sick individuals. But is that going to make me stop earning a living? That's ridiculous.
Okay, this guy just wrote in the chat, John, will you remove Stern from all your advertising?
Okay, this is another thing. See, listen, I love this because I get to address all the horse shit that's out there on social media.
Yeah.
Elisa, when I do a show, a stand-up show, right? So if I'm at the Laugh Factory in Reno, it'll say probably, I don't control it, but it might say from the Howard Stern Show and the Tonight Show with Jay Leno. Okay? Now, if Mitch Fatel does a stand-up appearance, it might say from Jay Leno and David Letterman. Any comedy club is going to advertise where you may have seen this comic before.
Would you prefer it didn't say
I
it?
am proud of my past at Howard Stern.
But you don't want your voice to be heard.
Does that mean I want them to against my right of publicity? No, they're not allowed to do that. There are plenty of cases that my attorney has cited that they are not allowed to use my likeness or voice. They're not allowed to. So, like I said before, there are plenty of Stern employees who are right behind me waiting to see the outcome of this lawsuit and SiriusXM knows that because they know that this is a rabbit hole they don't want to go down because there's a lot of people who are waiting to find out. And I'm telling you, I talked to many of them from the Stern Show. I'm not the only one who is incredibly abused by SiriusXM for doing this.
Wait, they said they were abused? What do you mean by abused?
They are not compensating any of us for the use of our likeness, voice, which we never, ever gave them permission to do so.
Okay, so when you signed or when you were on the show...
I never signed the contract.
Don't you sign a release?
Nope. They didn't have them then. Jackie didn't. I didn't. Artie didn't. Scott the engineer didn't. None of us did. Steve Grillo didn't. Scotty Pace didn't. Doug
and
Goodstein
all those
didn't.
people are upset?
Richie Wilson didn't. Yes. Yes, they are. So, like, you get guys, oh, John's a bitter guy. Oh, yeah. No, John's just the only one who'll stand up to. I will stand up against tyranny any single chance I get. And if somebody's going to abuse us, I will stand up to it.
So you look at it as abuse. So as a religious...
they're abusing me because they're not compensating me for using my likeness, voice, and image. They are abusing my right of publicity. It's a different kind of abuse than when you are relating it to. Okay? If you want to go through the legal thing, read what the file stipulates. In our case, then you'll understand what is going on. If I can't educate you enough, then I can't. But I've tried.
No, it's super
Michael
interesting,
Zucchero
John.
was asking you, did you sign an NDA?
Not NDA. I think there are really. I don't remember. I don't even look when I sign something what it says. But hold on one second, Kermit and friends.
You don't look at things when you sign them.
One question, no part two this time. John's former lawyer was Michael Avenatti. Did you know that?
Yes,
in
yes, I
jail.
did.
I just wondered if you talked to Michael in prison and if he's giving you legal advice. Thank you.
Very good question. Thank God we actually have a normal one and not a troll, which is what Kyle is, because he's a total troll. His whole show is making money off of others, which is all he could do because he has no freaking apparent talent. So I will just say this: Michael Avenatti was not in jail when I hired him. I had no idea of any allegation of his criminal past, unlike Kyle, who has an alarming criminal past. But Michael Avenatti was clean as a whistle, and he got me out of my problems with the Secret Service. Now, Avenatti then got tried and convicted of crimes, which right now he just got out of one of them, due to a stipulation.
John,
but I have not spoken to answer the question before Kyle spews his bullshit. I have not spoken to Michael Avenatti since.
John, did you compare yourself to John Lennon?
I compared my trolls that they could have the same kind of lunatic as Mark David Chapman. I'm not comparing myself to John Lennon. See, Elisa, this is how things get twisted. I was just saying, you don't know where the next David Hinckley is going to come from. So if a person points a gun at me in a picture, I'm not comparing myself to my idol, John Lennon. I'm comparing the lunatics out there to being people that may want to kill you. Okay? It doesn't matter how big of a celebrity that you are. There are crazy people who might want to kill Stuttering John. By in no shape or form, Elisa, I don't even think you took it as me comparing myself to John Lennon, who is my idol. The Beatles are my favorite band. I'm just saying that you don't know where the next lunatic is going to come from. And look, I'm an E-list celebrity at best, probably a J-list, but you don't know. Look, Lisa, you're doing this show. You don't know if you get a hater. You're a beautiful woman. You don't know if you get some freaking stalker who's going to try and do you harm. You don't know if that's going to happen. And I think that you get scared of it thinking about it sometimes, because I think you and I have had this conversation.
I'm not as scared as you sound.
I'm not scared. But when a woman points a gun at you, you do have to take it into consideration. That's all I'm saying. I invite people to come to the pub I hang out with. I'm not scared because I know how to handle myself. But that doesn't stop someone from showing up with a gun and then trying to kill you. Who knows? Just so you know, Elisa, I've had a guy at my pub threaten to kill me. A big, big dude came and whispered in my ear, "I'm going to kill you." So to think that it couldn't happen, it could. People are killed all the time. You know what I mean? So I'm not comparing myself to John Lennon. I'm just saying there are lunatics like Mark David Chapman out there every single day.
Okay.
But see, Elisa, this is what guys like Kyle try and do. They try and twist things for their own benefit to make things appear as though they are what they really are not. I'm going to appear myself to one of the greatest rock and roll legends in the history of all time. Okay.
But do you think you should stop watching Kyle and people like Kyle?
I don't watch Kyle.
Oh, okay. All right. So
again, Elisa, I'm gonna say this one more time.
Yeah.
I don't watch any of the shows. I don't go on Reddit. I don't go on Radio Gunk.
You don't go on Reddit?
No.
You sure?
I refuse to. I don't. I swear on my life, I don't go on Reddit. But I'll tell you this. People will tweet me before I could block them. Clip of Scion Z does a show about Stuttering John. Scion Z, they tweet me this or text me with phony numbers. That's what they do. I'm surprised they haven't called me yet. I'm sure they'll call me any second with a phony number. They call my mother with phony numbers. They pay for a service to do this. My mother, my 80-year-old mother, they call and harass. So I don't watch these shows. I don't go on Reddit. I don't know what they say. I don't want to know. It's toxic. It's all negative. I don't care what these people say. So I don't want to know. So the only way I find out is through Twitter or through text.
Okay, that makes sense. Whoa, too much feedback. Yes, Kleenex.
Yeah, I want to stand up for John. I even kind of prejudged him last night. Exactly what he's saying. Everybody that's done this or even done small versions of it knows what he's talking about. He's not comparing himself. There is haters. You could be a person that performs on the street with a guitar and be shot because somebody didn't like this fucking song you played.
Yeah.
John's not trying to say he's this or he's that. And anybody would, I mean, and the proof that John is doing such a good job on your show today is the trolling that he's getting. The fact that
people care about John either way, you know.
John was proven for years to have a track record of being extremely entertaining.
Yes.
I told him when I met him, I still listen to him because, I mean, sometimes he's unlistenable because not everybody does a great show. But when he's on, he's on. When he's on his game, he's on his game. And I love the fact that it's being proven by the trolling that he's getting, that this fucking guy that is on, I'm very aware of him. What John said is so goddamn true. This guy would not have a YouTube channel if he wasn't being a troll about the successful people out there that got fucking talent. His only way of income or only way of even having a spot is to criticize talented people that are doing good work, including John. So kudos to John. This has been the best show you've had this year. This is better than Connor and all that horse shit. This is what true podcasting is. John is being extremely honest, being very forthcoming, and he is inspiring because he's telling you, I'm just one of you, but I'm aware of the world I live. Great job, John. It was a pleasure to meet you the other night. Hopefully we'll have a couple
Thanks, Chris. I had a good time with you, buddy.
All right, great. Thanks, Chris. Great call. Oh, he's
I do have
Kermit's
to say, Elisa, and I'm not saying it for any other reason, and I'm glad that's just you and I right now. I do have to go soon because I got to do my show at 2. I have comedian David Feldman on, who's a writer for Bob Smigel. And,
okay. No, I understand. Just lastly, what are your hopes, for what's coming next for you? You hope you win your lawsuit. What else?
My life, Dee Snider said it best to me on the Howard Stern show. John, you lived a charmed life. And I have to say, I'm grateful that I have lived a charmed life. I have achieved everything that I've set out to do. I wanted to get a record deal. I did. I got to tour the country, opening up for bands like Ozzy Osbourne and Collective Soul and White Zombie and, and Motley Crue. I've gotten to write a song with one of my idols, Joe Walsh, and got to hang out with him in his house and record with him in the studio. I have gotten to write and sell him and star and sell a movie to National Lampoon. I've gotten to work on 2 of the most iconic radio and TV shows and be a writer on each show. I got to be the announcer of the biggest late night show in television history, where I had a stutterer, which was an inspiration to stutterers all across this nation and the world. I've got to have a book deal. I've got to work for some of the greatest people. I've had the opportunity to be a father of 3 great children. So I've lived a very good life. I've made a decent amount of money, put college funds all the way for all my kids. They'll never have to pay for one day of college in their life. And I live very comfortably, own a condo, own a Harley, own a Mercedes. I'm living a good life. So I don't regret a thing. And to answer your question, I don't know what's going to come next. God has been very good to me, Elisa. Granted, he gave me OCD. Granted, he gave me a bad stutter. But man, he was able to give me. See, this is that Kyle guy again, Elisa. Susanna's new husband pays for their college, okay? Now, see, this is the kind of bullshit that a guy like this Kyle, this is what they do.
I didn't even see that comment.
Yeah, it's on there. But this is what a lowlife this Kyle guy is, who has a criminal record and yells at his mother-in-law while inebriated. I have college funds put away by myself ever since my
Susanna's new husband.
born,
Shut up, John.
Ever since
no one's gonna shoot you.
Take him. I put $300 away for each child with my brother-in-law, my ex-wife's brother, at Northwestern Mutual. $300 away for each child ever since each child was born, which now is 6 figures. That is my money and my ex-wife's. It has
okay, John.
Nothing.
Don't you think it's hypocritical?
I am in the middle of a conversation.
Shut your mouth. Shut your mouth.
Bad audio. That guy's horrible audio.
I'm in the middle of a conversation. I am the only one who put the money away from my children, and you get a freaking guy like that Kyle guy to spew more nonsensical lies and horseshit that my ex-wife's new husband is paying for anything. I pay my child support. I freaking paid for all the college funds, and that guy Kyle is gonna lie. Now, who are you gonna trust here, Elisa? Me, a man who's never been imprisoned, never got a DUI, doesn't post his show inebriated, or a guy with a criminal record? Okay, see, Gonzo, 300 for each kid a month. Do you understand that? That's $3,600 a year, each year of their lives. You do the math, Gonzo. It's $300 a month. I was paying $900 a month on college funds. Okay? So try not to accuse me of lying, because you'll lose, because I don't lie. And this is the kind of horseshit that you get on social media, Lisa. And that's what these shows that Kyle does, that the other shows that he mentioned, they lie and promote horseshit. And if you want the truth, Elisa, you'll get it from me, because I don't lie. I won't lie. I refuse to lie. Yin's Nation Sport, why am I so mad? Because I'm mad when I've lived an honorable life, have been a good father to 3 children, who I hang out with and talk to on a regular basis, who write me the sweetest things, kindest text, nicest Father's Day and birthday cards that any father could wish or hope for. And I get these assholes that go on social media to spew hatred and lies. And Elisa, I thought this was a religious show. Yet, you know what? You allow the most hateful people on your show to spew horseshit like Scion Z. And if you really knew Scion Z's criminal past, you might question whether you should have him on your show ever again. I'm just saying, Elisa, you're supposed to be a Christian. You're supposed to be all about love. You're supposed to be all about acceptance. Well, you have a guy like that on, spewing lies and horseshit and anger about somebody who's your guest? Really? Because guess what, Elisa? On my show, I don't do that. I have people on. I don't have guests coming on to trash any of the guests that I have on. I don't do that. I don't sabotage my guests that way. I don't. That's your prerogative. I'll answer their questions. I'll deal with it. I'm not upset with you at all. But I'm just saying, you might want to change your MO on your show if you want to get guests. Because if your MO is to have people come on and spread horseshit like Kyle does, then who's going to want to do your show in the first place? Just giving you a little tip.
So I have all people on my show.
Okay. So far you've had
I love everyone.
So far you've had people call me a stuttering fuckface. You've had people.
You had Charmin. You had Charmin, who's wonderful, and James,
yes, I know,
who's wonderful.
I know. I'm just telling you.
Jesus loves all people.
You keep allowing Scion back on to
He's
spew
interested.
hate.
Hold on one second. Here's another guy that likes you. Kermit and Friends.
Damn it, I'm
I'm going to defend fucking John. God damn it, he's got a point. It is entertaining to see the O'Connors. It is entertaining to watch somebody beat the shit out of your guest. But when you start getting better guests, do you really want to fucking sandbag them and put them in the trick bag and make them never want to come back?
So this is a good conversation.
No, because John is so fucking right. And I'm going to stand up for him.
Okay, he's your new friend. I understand.
No bullshit. It's bullshit because he's got a point.
Do you want guests to return? Okay, you're going to do that to me? Okay.
I don't know what's going on.
Okay, you want guests to return?
Lisa, by the way.
Go ahead, Kleenex. Go ahead. Say what you want to
Do
say.
you want guests to return?
Hey, Chris.
Do you want a certain kind of guest to return? That's what you got to ask yourself about your show.
Okay, so Kleenex, you might have a point.
Remember what I told you? Listen, I'm gonna defend you too. I told you, don't ever let anybody. When I saw you tonight, don't ever let anybody tell you how to do your show. But he's got a point this time. He's not saying do it. He's giving you a suggestion. So it's better than saying, don't do this, don't do that. He's saying, if you want a guest to return, you might think about how you handle them. He's not telling you how to do your show. He's giving you just some of his opinions. And you've had too many goddamn people.
I see what Kleenex is saying. Kleenex, okay, your audio's horrible, but I like what Kleenex is saying.
And Elisa, let me just say, because again, Kyle is trying to lie here and say,
I like what Kleenex is saying. His audio is horrible, though. But I just want to say,
hold on, Lisa. I just want you to know something.
Yes.
Because Kyle was lying again, saying that now I'm turning on you. I'm not mad at you at all. I was just giving you a suggestion. I'm just saying you might not want to have these people come on to lie about a guest of yours. That's all I'm saying. And call me fuckface and shit. I'm just saying you might want to rethink that if you want to get bigger guests on, just like Chris. But I'm not mad at you at all. I love you. I'm not mad. I don't have any problem. I'll do your show again. I'm just saying that you might want to think about it. I'm just giving a friendly tip. I'm not mad at you at all. Because on my show, I don't do that. And if I did, I would never have these guests would never want to come on with me ever again. And that's why I have top-notch guests like Jay Leno. That's why I have James Carville.
Jay Leno was on your your balcony beer show?
No, he's been on my pocket. Sometimes I'll do it just an entertainment one on my regular show. But
I didn't know that.
But he did go political, which I was shocked. But I've had plenty. I've had Howie Mandel on my show. I've had Larry the Cable Guy on my show. How do I get these A-listers? I don't sandbag them with calls and people hating on them while they're a guest. That's all.
Okay, I see what you're saying. I'm sorry that Kyle upset you so much.
No, he doesn't upset me.
I didn't even think you'd care. I didn't think you'd care about Kyle. I thought he'd be inconsequential.
At least I enjoy it in a way. I enjoy beating them down because I enjoy them spewing the nonsense. I enjoy being able to call them out for the horseshit. I'm not mad at them. I do not hate them. I feel bad for them. I am not mad at you at all. I hope you don't think that. I'm just saying that they lie. It's like Gonzo. $300 does not pay for college tuition, John, which is a total blatant lie. I paid $300 a month for each kid. Do you understand that, Elisa? And after 21 years, that builds up for each kid, and it builds up interest. So now it's 6 figures, and my kids are so freaking bright, they get scholarships that they don't. My daughter, just so you know, Elisa, was the valedictorian at Calabasas High School. She got free rides from BU, University of Michigan. That's free ride. Tuition, board, dormitory, food, books, everything. My kids are incredibly bright. They take after their dad. But that being said, Elisa, I love you. I enjoy doing your show. I'm not angry. I don't care about Kyle. I know I sound it, but I'm not. I just hate when people promote horse shit about me and my family. That's all. And you know what? If I'm passionate about that, don't misconstrue that as me being angry. I'm just very passionate about the horse shit that goes on when people lie about me, lie about that lunatic chick, and they run with it, even though it's untrue.
I get it, John. I get it. You set the story straight today. I believe you. I think you're doing great. You're doing a lot better than I thought, honestly. And I feel like you did a great presentation of Stuttering John today. It was great. And everybody enjoyed you. Everybody was into it. And
I honestly did, Elisa, and I did enjoy your friends. I like Chris very much. I like
Charmin.
I like Johnny and Josh as well. Josh and I were talking all night. We had some great conversations about crypto, about stocks, about gold, and and about everything else. Chris and I had great conversations about entertainment. And Johnny was a little inebriated, so we didn't have that many conversations. But he seemed like a very nice gentleman, and I would do it again anytime.
Okay, great. I'm so happy that you would. I'm happy you enjoyed yourself today. Thank you so much for joining us. And don't worry about Kyle or anyone else that's upset you today.
Look, he's still spewing the hate in your chat room. The kids love Susanna's new husband more than you. Really? I mean, how do you know any of that to be true? You don't. This is what I mean, Elisa. It's like they like to spew nonsense. I'm having dinner with my kids today. Oh, they love you. Look, my ex-wife's husband has been in their lives for 10 years. You don't expect them to hate him, do you? He's a nice guy. He does right by them. Why should they hate the guy? In any divorce, that's what happens. Even my niece, my brother's kid, she has a stepfather. You don't think that she loves a stepfather? Of course they do. There's nothing wrong with it. That's called normal. That's what normal looks like. But these guys like Sionzi, they don't know what normal looks like because they don't lead normal lives. I don't begrudge my kids for loving their stepdad. They should. They live with him.
I just wanted to
Hold on.
I just wanted to give you a call. Thank you for being such a rock star here today. You're a total rock star, and I was really touched by what you said about your kids and saving up for your kids, how passionate you are. I do pray that one day in the future I could work with you, maybe play a song on your show. And I know with Elisa, in terms of her state, she is aggressive in a good way. We love her aggressiveness. My rabbis love her aggressiveness. The wife of the head of the rabbinic court, she's aggressive too, just like Elisa. And, in a good way, she has a podcast too. And, as Jews that are hanging out with each other, it pays to be kind of like that. Nobody kind of goes too far the boundaries as far as, being
Eric, just come on camera.
Yeah, what? I got to go, Lisa. I really got to do it too.
Oh, okay, John. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate you. You're wonderful. Come back anytime. What a doll. What a great guest today. I'm so thrilled with him. 1 second, Wappy. Kermit and friends. What, Eric?
Where did John go?
I took him off. He's busy.
Oh, okay. So I was going to ask him, the question I was going to ask him is if he thinks that you look really beautiful today.
All right. Thank you, Eric. All right. Very nice. Okay. So I just want to say to everybody, today was very interesting for me. It's fascinating how one person can see, we all look at people on TV and on the radio. You think they're one thing, but maybe they're completely different, or maybe they're exactly what you thought. Either way, I accept everyone here, the mean people, the nice people, people that talk shit, people that I want everyone, because I'm like Jesus, John. I'm like Jesus. I am very religious. And I believe in inviting everyone in and loving everyone and not banning people or blocking people for asking hard questions. I want hard questions. I want this to be that kind of show where the hard questions are answered. And after this, there's going to be a wrap-up show with Sharman Smith and with James Chai. Sharman, what's on the wrap-up show today?
We're going to talk about all this drama and everything that went on with John. We're going to, chat about it all.
Great. I want Kyle to be brought up. I want John to be brought up. I want everything that happened. Dr. Rajeev Fernando, the sexiest doctor. Right. Obviously, people were upset. It's very emotional. When people are coming after you, which you ran for president of the United States as a Democratic nominee, and people went after you too. So this is going to happen. If you're doing anything important for the world, people are going to go after you. Guess what? It's not easy. People will say, oh, you're doing your show wrong. Do it like this. Do it like that. If you're running for president, oh, you think about that the wrong way. Oh, you're wrong. You're wrong. I think I know everything. Everybody thinks they know. Okay. The truth is you just got to be yourself and do what you believe in. That's what I'm doing every week on Kermit and Friends. See you next week. Enjoy Wappy. See you on the wrap-up show.
Step out the front door like a ghost into the fog where no one notices the contrast, but white on white. In between the moon and you, angels get a better view of the crumbling difference between wrong and right. I walk in here between the rain, through myself and back again where I don't know. Maria says she's dying. Through the door I hear her crying. I don't know. Round here, always stand up straight. Round here, something radiates. Maria came from Nashville with a suitcase in her hand. Said she'd like to meet a boy who looks like Elvis. She walks along the edge of where the ocean meets the land. It's like she's walking on a wire in a circus. She parks a car outside my house, takes her clothes off, says she's close to understanding Jesus. She knows she's more than just a little misunderstood. She has trouble acting normal when she's nervous. Round here, carving out our names. Round here, we all look the same. Round here we talk just like lions, but we sacrifice like lambs. Round here, she's slipping through my hands.